It's August 22nd, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. TheJoelPearl.com on Blue Sky. A fabulous Friday, not a sky in the cloud, not a cloud in the sky in Toronto. It's beautiful outside. It's gonna get hot again. We're back, baby. Summer is here, and Jeremy is here. All he needed to do was kidnap my child, threaten to immolate him, and if I didn't pull through, then I would have come to work. Why you threatened to burn my child?
You hit him with the fridge door. I'm not going to threaten to burn your child. Let's not start off the show like that. Come on now.
Well, all right, fine. All Jeremy had to do was threaten me with a good time and then tell me he's not going to cash in his world title match, and then I had to come to work. How's that?
Okay. That's better than putting it out there that I'm threatening to burn children.
Well, it's my child, so I don't really think people would be that upset about it.
Nah, I mean, I still don't want that reputation.
Can y'all be demonetized for threatening to burn kids? I guess we're going to find out, Ken.
Yeah.
Guess we're going to find out together. It's a hot start is what people might call it. Yeah, because fire's hot, and it's hot out in the city of Toronto. And anyway, it's Friday. Who knows what this episode will bring, because who knows what we're going to talk about? I don't. Jeremy does. He's got a list. No, I have the list. Jeremy just follows. That's what we do. This is the show. You want to get right into the thumbings of the ups? Give me a thumbs up. Get the pyro going. It's going to be a hot show, so you may as well get the fireworks going too. It's just not.
The fireworks are disappointed in you with
that's
this whole thing you've been doing this morning.
Yeah, don't worry. Bad storylines are plentiful in this wrestling landscape. We'll get into it. Come on. Get it. Come on. Do it. Both of them in a little bit and a little bit more. Why are they flashing?
Let's see. Okay, 3 in a row. Let's see how many more we could get.
All right, good stuff. And while you're leaving that thumbs up for whatever that was, you can go ahead and you can subscribe to the channel. We got content every day dropping. Rob and Maggie are on later on today. We got interviews all the time dropping as well. And of course, you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or your statement read on the air. We'll start right off. Bugaboo Jones over here. Hooty hoo. Good morning, all. Can't stay for the show, but everyone have a great day. Going to see Yuka Sakazaki wrestle tonight here in Denver. So got to get work done ASAP. Now, is the work being done in order to see Yuka, or is the work being done so you can then cheer for Yuka? Are you making a sign for Yuka Sakazaki? Is that the work you're getting done, or is it something else? Or is it actual work?
I assume it's actual work.
Who does that? Who does actual work?
Fair.
Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, how you doing? How's your Friday starting, Jeremy?
No, I'm up. I'm listening to interviews. I'm working, Joel. I'm always working. You know this.
I do. That's why we do this show, so that you can be working while you're talking.
Yeah.
We can work on your multi. What's the word? I'm out of words this morning because I was woken up at 5:30 by my child, and I went to bed at midnight. So I'm kind of done. I'm fried. Here we are. That's why I'm okay with someone wanting to immolate him. Anyway, multitasking. We're working on your multitasking every day.
Fair.
It's a busy weekend. You excited for everything? Heatwave, Forbidden Door, Homecoming.
I forgot Heatwave was this weekend. That show just feels dead in the water. I mean, I'm not sure I could name the card. All right, let's play this game here, Joel. You got the card in front of you?
I can pull up the card, and we will do that.
All right, let's see if Wrestling Podcaster can name matches on Wrestling Show.
I'm ready when you are. Yep.
Okay.
There are 6 matches, by the way.
6 matches. Thank you for that little heads up there. All right. NXT Championship match, Obafemi against Javon Evans.
Ding, ding.
All right. Blake Monroe against Jordan Grace.
Ding, ding.
Tag team titles, Hank and Tank against 2 members of Dark State.
Ding, ding. We won't know which ones until we get to the show.
Chelsea Green and Ethan Page against Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele.
Ding, ding.
What, I got 2 more?
You have 2 more.
Women's title match. Oh, I know it's a triple threat. I don't fucking know who's in this match though.
Which,
JC.
which one? Which triple threat is it?
Yeah, women's title match. Women's title match.
Which women's title? Sorry, which women's title?
The fucking only women's title. What do you mean, which women's title?
You sure about that?
The North American title's not on the line.
No.
Okay.
How many titles did JC hold?
Oh, right. I guess the TNA title then.
You're right. It is for the TNA Knockouts Championship.
All right, because I think she's facing Ash and Masha.
That's right.
Okay.
It is a triple threat. Yes.
All right. And then the other triple threat match is the number one contenders match for the NXT women's title.
You got it. Yes, those three. Let's hear it.
Kalani,
Yes.
Lola,
Yes.
should be Thea Hale. I'm pretty
Should
sure
be.
it's not Thea Hale.
She has been petitioning for her spot, though.
And again, as she should be. Who's she been in back? Who have they been in backstage segments with?
Who's been
do s-
all
they do
over
so
being
many.
like, I deserve a spot? Who's been like
All
running
them-
her mouth at all?
All of them do that. Jada Parker.
There it is. Yes.
Oh, look at me. That's the whole card, right?
That is the whole card. You went 6 for 6. You got a little bit of help that you got there.
I didn't have any help.
A
What are you
little
talking
bit.
about?
You got a little bit to get to Jada Parker, and also the Knockouts titles.
I didn't ask for that help. You're the one who.
Oh, you were
put that
struggling.
I was not struggling.
You
I
were
would have got
struggling
there.
on air. Come
I
on.
would have got there.
No.
I would have got there. I didn't ask for that help. Let the record show I did not use a lifeline.
You weren't going to lose. You weren't going to use a lifeline anyway. You would have eaten up 2 hours trying to talk your way through it if you could.
I would have called Pulowski. He should know this card.
I feel like even though he covers this show, he would not remember this card. I feel like his first answer would be click goodbye. Who is this? Do you have my puppets? Click.
That's about right.
That's it. You can even try to call Kate and she'd just be like, I don't know. Or I have a video about it coming out in a few hours.
Yeah.
Check out the Miss Kate Fabe YouTube channel, by the way. Which is great. Answering like Billy Madison in the spelling bee. You got your finger on the button for a sec?
Yes.
Volib sends a super chat saying Vanilla Fumble
I'm vanilla, baby.
is what we call when we don't get time off. No, I'm not talking about Jeremy. I want some too. I'm beat. I worked too hard for this. Well, first of all, we always appreciate you, Volib. And we know you work hard. We hope you get some downtime because, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot for everyone who doesn't get much of a break. So hopefully you get one soon, pal.
I did kind of forget JC was a double champion. I
had to watch whatever she cut last night as a promo.
All right, can we get TNA talk out of the way? I don't get to talk about this dumb show.
Sucked last night. Every match had some sort of interference.
It is, and this is parentheses derogatory. It is WWE NXT light.
It's NXT Dark, remember? That is what we have decided to keep calling it.
It's terrible.
It's not good.
It's the worst parts of the WWE main roster and the NXT shows. It's the absolute worst parts of those shows.
Did you watch last night? Were you covering or were you doing other stuff?
Nah, I had it on. Like my attention was on other things, but it was on my television screen or computer screen.
That's how I felt, and I was covering the show to do the post show. There was so much not happening. First of all, they did the trick, where's his title upside down? Let's talk about it, even though they did that on Tuesday.
Yeah, they did that on Tuesday. So, like, he just cut the same promo that Corey Graves cut for him on Tuesday.
And again, it's the most I'm 14 and this is deep response to why you're wearing this title upside down. I'm wearing it upside down because I turned this company upside down. It's like you couldn't think of a better reason. I said this on the post show. When a country is in despair, is in trouble, emergency, what do? You fly the flag upside down. Why doesn't he use something like that? I'm the emergency. You should all be scared of me. That's why this title's upside down. Not because I turned it upside down. Look at me. Well, let's talk about it, and then proceed not to talk about it. And then, so Santana comes out. He comes through the crowd. Sure, that's his normal thing. And he says, I didn't get pinned at Slammiversary, which has been his line since Slammiversary. And Trick is like, no, you don't get a title shot. So Santina's like, oh, yes, he does. To which the response is, oh, I don't need to talk to a lawyer because I don't have to defend my title for 50 days. 50. What an arbitrary number. And coincidentally, Jeremy, as of last night, Bound for Glory is 52 days away. Oh my gosh, who would have seen that coming? So now we have Trick Williams being like, I don't have to defend my title. And now Santino's like, oh, I'm going to look into this because I'm super serious. And he's a joke. So now we get to deal with that. Meanwhile, Santino's like, oh, you still have to wrestle, so now you're going to be in a tag team match. So it's going to be a tag match next week. It's going to be AJ Styles, I wish. It's going to be AJ Francis and Trick Williams against Santana and Steve Macklin. Spoiler alert, like you care. It's a schmozz finish, and I'm almost certain that they're just going to do the same tag match at Victory Road, which they should have just had it at Victory Road because it's a perfectly fine main event match for a plus special to do the two challengers and the two champions in a match. But instead, they're trying to do this multiple times. Now we got to talk about the gauntlet match for the Knockouts #1 contendership.
Do we have to?
No, but we have to. So here we are. Jody Threat wins it by disqualification because Danny Luna turned heel by losing the match before it to Indy Hartwell. There had already been 3 other matches before that with other competitors. This was all a vehicle to turn Danny Luna heel on her former tag team partner, which they didn't have to do, and they could have kept them apart, but whatever, they did it. And then on top of that, Jody Threat, White Meat Babyface, is like, I don't want to have #1 contendership this way. Don't do it this way. I don't want it. Which means the entire point of this gauntlet match was completely useless. They were trying to do a storyline bit out of it. And like Danny Luna turning heel, I'm fine with that from a character standpoint. It should be happening. But for her to do it and to make it all about the Knockouts title, when meanwhile the Knockouts title is already in some sort of conversation with the NXT stuff, and healing one brand and another is a whole other conversation. But doing it like this and having Danny Luna turn and then Jody Threat be like, I don't want the title shot. Give it to Indy Hartwell because she got screwed. She didn't get screwed. Like she lost the match like anyone else. And it's all turning into, I'm sure, a triple threat with Indy and Danny and Jody, and then Indy's going to win. She's going to pin one of the 3, and then we're going to do Indy and JC at Bound for Glory instead of Masha. This was the other thing I said. If they're going back to do Masha and JC at Bound for Glory, why are we're just mirroring the title matches again? 2 pay-per-views straight and thinking that and then we're just going to go back to status quo. Well, back to square one before the NXT integration. It's lazy. They need a new creative team. They need some freshening up, and bringing in anyone from WWE isn't going to help it. I can tell you that much. It's very frustrating because then I'll listen to someone like Lance on Observer, and he'll speak about the producers and what the producers do in TNA. And he's a good producer, but they don't talk to each other. And clearly on an episode like this, where there's some sort of interference in every single, there were only 3 matches last night, and all of them had interference finishes. It was an awful episode. It had no reason to exist. It was just there. It was bad. There you go.
All the tapings look like they suck. Like I've read the spoilers. I think I probably did the spoiler post. And the results just look like a bunch of just nonsense that I can't possibly pretend to care about.
It's all kicking cans down the road to get to October 12th. And even then, like I said, you give Santana his moment. Well, guess what? You got to do the Hardys and Team 3D. They're going to overtake whatever moment Santana gets.
Are they?
I'm almost certain. At this point, this feels like the Hardys and Santana, or the Hardys and 3D match. That feels like they're going to main event because there was the first match announced. It's like their big nostalgia push. Like they're running everything out of this. I agree. It was garbage.
Yeah, that would be a mistake if they don't have Santana headline and win the title on this show, and they decide to go with Hardys and Team 3D.
But I sure as shit don't give Dreamer any reason why he wouldn't do that, because he's got his hardcore covered glasses on and he's excited for what it was. He wants to help his boys, his Team 3D pals, and he loves the Hardys. And if this is the main event, then what are we doing? We have time. Like it might not be, but it really feels like they're pushing that match as the marquee main event match, which is just like Bound for Glory last year. They were in the main event, the Hardy Boys, because they weren't going to give the title to Joe Hendry. So that's going to open up a whole other can of worms. If they do this again, where Trick Williams retains the title at Bound for Glory because they want to give the Hardys and Team 3D that moment, woof, we're back to square one.
Yeah, if they don't have Santana's title victory headline this show, it doesn't send a great message either. It's like, oh, we're gonna give the nostalgia act the headlining spot instead of a story that's been building. You can say what you want about Trick Williams and him being the champion and everything, but it's a story that's been building for months now of who's going to take the title for Trick Williams. That should probably headline the show if that's going to be the end of the reign. Maybe it's not going to be the end of the reign. Maybe Trick Williams is going to continue to hold the title. It would be a huge mistake. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary for TNA to make a huge mistake because that's their entire history for the most part. It's just a bunch of mistakes after a bunch of mistakes, and yet they somehow stay in business, and I'd say continue to get better, but I don't know if that's fully the truth. They stay in business. We can't really say they get better, but they stay in business.
They have moments that are really good, and then they always find a way to just completely shoot themselves in the foot. It's like they just look for that reason.
What was the last good like TNA moment that people are gonna like remember? Like really remember?
So there's two of them. One you can argue is the rebrand. For a lot of fans, that was a big deal. That was Bound for Glory 2023.
That one.
The other one, Slammiversary in Montreal, the Ali and Speedball match.
No.
As silly as it was to do the whole Earl Hebner thing, Speedball winning the title back and beating Ali after all that, I think that was a moment that people really did enjoy. Now, it was also...
Sure, but like...
It wasn't like, oh my God, the biggest moment. Leon Slater winning the X Division title, that was a good moment, but it wasn't the reason. It was one of my reasons for liking the pay-per-view, for liking Slammiversary, because I knew it was inevitable. But no, I like you said, the last time people really left a pay-per-view being like, this was great all around, it was when they were bringing back the TNA name.
Yeah, the TNA, I'll give you that one. I'm not giving you Speedball and
That's
Ali.
fair. I'm giving that because I was there and I experienced that live. So for me, it's different than someone who maybe watched it on TV.
Okay. Like that was a good match, very good match with a finish that, all right, I see what they were going for, and like, okay, it worked. I'm not saying it didn't work or anything. When I'm talking like memorable stuff, I'm talking Elix Skipper cage walk and AJ Daniels Joe and Joe AJ. Like, I'm talking actual moments that people are going to remember. People probably don't even remember Ali and Speedball, and that was just over a year ago. Like, it's a fine moment in a long history of moments in TNA, but I'm talking like moments that 5 years from now people are gonna be like, that I remember that 5 years ago. The rebrand, all right, we can go with that. I don't know if there's been anything since then. I don't know what was before then either. Kenny coming to TNA, that's a moment people will remember, remember 5 years ago. I don't think people are going to remember like, oh, remember Trick Williams was the TNA champion? At least not in a good way. Kenny's at least like, oh yeah, he was there. Remember they did the whole thing with Jay White that never went anywhere? That was fun.
Yep.
But at least Kenny was there, and like solid proof he boosted interest in viewership because they were on Twitch and the numbers were outrageous for that show. Trick hasn't shown that there's any real interest or ratings boost. I know they did well with Slammiversary, I don't think that's fully on Trick. I think there's a lot of factors into that. I don't know how Bound for Glory is gonna do. I know Carlos Silva wants it to do better than Slammiversary. We'll see. But yeah, I'm talking like really memorable moments in TNA history. And the biggest one is, hey, we're calling the company TNA again. That's not even something like the wrestlers did or some like great booking moment. That's just Scott D'Amore just being like, yeah, we're going back to nostalgia.
You can argue in the same vein the Ospreay matches. Ospreay coming in and working with Josh and Speedball. Two different matches that did really well. And the return of Kazuchika Okada.
Okada, yeah.
And again, that was the match was nothing. It was a 6-man tag with the System versus Okada and Motor City Machine Guns. And like, that's fine. I don't think anyone really expected anything huge out of the Okada appearance, but it was more the mending of fences that got people interested and happy about it. That wasn't a major moment, an all fans moment. I think the Okada thing was like, this is really cool for old school TNA fans who are in the know. I think Ospreay coming in and also bringing a lot of like positivity towards TNA and the rebrand, everything that he said about TNA and him growing up as a TNA fan, I think that really played into not just the rebranding, but also the fact that he came in and had 2 stellar matches over the course of a few months. So that's worth noting for sure.
Yeah, it's a note. I don't think it's going to be this really memorable thing. And this is no knock on Ospreay or Alexander, but we just watch Will Ospreay have great matches every single week. So him just coming into TNA and having great matches against Josh Alexander, it's like, all right, cool. Here's a great match from Will Ospreay that can be lost in a ton of great Will Ospreay matches. Again, that's not Ospreay's fault or anything, but it's also not like, again, the Styles, Daniels, Joe triple threat. And that had the benefit of like being the first kind of great TNA match. So it's a cool note. Just like Okada's a cool note. I don't know about it's going to be this really memorable moment 5 years from now.
Yeah, no, and that's why I go back and I say it's the rebrand, which that shouldn't be it. It could have been Santana this past Slammiversary. It could have been Joe Hendry last year at Bound for Glory. But instead, those moments came and they went, and then they had to revisit them, in Joe Hendry's case, twice to get there. Bound for Glory right now has just under 3,000. I think at this point we can say 3,000 because August 15th was the last update from WrestleTix where they had 2,928 out. And the venue currently set up for 3,700 seats. They are 2 months away, a little under 2 months from the show. At this time last year, this time for Slammiversary, so a few months ago, they were closer. They were about this number, as far as I remember. Things didn't really push until the NXT integration got bigger, and then the AJ Styles rumors that really pushed things over the edge, and that's when they were able to really fill up that arena. And I don't know what this time they can do to, well, I do. And it's going to be AJ Styles announcing a match that's going to push Bound for Glory to the next level.
They're not getting an AJ Styles match.
I don't think so either, but I don't know for sure because I don't.
I know for sure.
You know for sure? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Again, the only match that I can see him having at that point is going to be him and Frankie, and that's it. And that's it. I don't think they're doing it either.
They're not getting an AJ Styles match.
It's fine. No, listen, he pushed it off and he's doing other stuff. So Emergence had 1,800, but 1,875. And now the TV tapings, they're doing a live Impact on September 4th, where they have currently 480 tickets out in a capacity of 1,043 because they're doing the Armory at Minneapolis. And then the next night they have like their normal, half of that is out there. So who knows, man? Who knows?
I mean, they ran those, what was it, South Dakota, North Dakota, where they ran those tapings. Might just make Idaho. It's some country. It's some state that like typically doesn't draw super well, and they did like 300 people.
Oh, you're talking about Kingston, Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did Rhode
sure.
Island for the yeah. And now these tapings are
Geography, cities, cares.
oh man. So last night's TNA was not good. I can't even give you something to go back and watch because like the main event was fine. You know, Order 4, they beat the system, but it took a lot of interference and bullshit. So why should I bother telling you to invest your time? There was nothing from the show that I really think you should go out of your way to watch. Go watch the post show Creston I did, where we had the great idea that Gia Miller is actually the gatekeeper of the undead realm. She took over for Father James Mitchell. She is now evil, and Rosemary fears Gia Miller. That's the new story we should be going with.
Okay.
Someone asked me if I think JC should drop the Knockouts title on Sunday. I don't care at this
I
point.
assume she will.
Like at Heatwave, you think she'll drop it?
Yeah, it's a triple threat match. Like, why wouldn't she lose that match?
I'd rather they just do JC and like Jody or Indy at Bound for Glory. Have Jody be the big champion. Have Jody come out on top of that.
I know you like Jody Threat. I don't have anything against Jody Threat. I don't think they see her as Knockouts champion.
I think this was their first time putting her in a position to be bigger and have
Also,
more out there in front of the fans.
They're not gonna beat. This is why I think she drops the title on Sunday. I don't think she's getting beat. They're not gonna beat their NXT champion, so she's got to drop the NXT title first. I don't. This is a way to have Masha win the title by pinning Ash, or have Ash win the title by pinning Masha. And so, okay, JC doesn't have it anymore. They're not beating their NXT champion to get the TNA title off of her. They, sorry.
No, I'm largely in agreement, but I also think, I also think that she's just going to retain.
I mean, look, it's very possible she does retain. I'm not saying that's out of the realm of possibility. What I am saying is I'm not holding my breath for her losing that title in a one-on-one capacity as long as she's also the NXT Women's Champion, because I don't think they're beating her as long as she's the NXT Women's Champion as well. I hope there's an AJ Styles match 13. Like, that'd be great if he did wrestle at Bound for Glory. I would love it. I just don't think it's happening. I think that they've shown the level of talent they're willing to give to TNA, and main roster guys ain't that level of talent. They'll have AJ do an appearance. That's cool. I don't think they're having AJ do a match.
We'll see. Well, honestly, it's going to be the day, not the day. It's going to be like 3 days before the show. You'll know for sure. They'll do the tease again, or unless he shows up at the live show on September the 4th and teases something, which I don't think he will. I feel like we're just here and on the way. Yeah. Everyone's like, go to Edmonton. I'm like, I'm not going to Edmonton for the show, for Victory Road. I got no reason to go. Got plenty to do here.
That sounds terrible.
No, I listen, I want to go to a bunch of Canadian indies. I'm glad that I did C4. I've been saying this for a while. I want to go to Winnipeg Pro Wrestling's Rumble in the Burt that they do at the Burton Cummings Theater every year. It's been for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. They've been selling it out. It's a cool show. A lot of cool people on the card. I want to go, but I don't want to go to Winterpeg in October. So instead, I'll go to Toronto because that's where I live, and I'll go to London, Ontario for Dynamite, and we'll go from there. Those big Canadian indies, all elite wrestling.
This is actually a good idea, Ryan. I like this. Dana Brooke wins both titles, and she's Dana Brooke in NXT, and she's Ash in TNA. I need the Dana Brooke hitting 18 poses again.
She came out and called herself a 15-time WWE champion last night.
It's factual.
It is factual. I was cackling. I was like, God dang, that's so funny. It's perfect.
I need the cartwheel, muscle pose, and then what else? A front flip, and then the let's go. Need all of it. Just hit all the poses. Spam the taunt button. That's what I need from Dana Brooke again.
I'm fine with it. I don't think you'll be seeing it because every time she's shown up on NXT, she's been Ash by Elegance. Yes, they've completely ignored the Dana Brooke
cowardly
comparison. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
There. Thank you.
Well, who knows? Maybe he won't have a match on the card.
Maybe he won't, but there's a SmackDown, but that's the thing. They're doing SmackDown, the Australia show, and Raw. So one would think he's probably going to be on Raw. Yeah. I mean, I guess technically he could do. When's Bound for Glory? Is that on a Sunday?
It's on the 12th of October, which I believe is a Sunday.
Okay.
Double check. Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Yeah, no, there's no way he could do like that show and then fly to Australia for Raw, because Raw is going to be like afternoon. So, yeah.
He could do the Perth, just do the Perth show, fly back 18 hours. It'll be fine.
Thank you. I didn't even need the logistical thing to make my point here. It just wasn't going to happen. He could have been in Massachusetts and he wasn't going to wrestle on that show. He could have been in the ring the entire show, just standing there. He wasn't going to wrestle on that show. I'm glad that there was logistical evidence that he's most likely not going to be on this show.
Just sitting there eating at a Boston market saying, I don't have anything to do. I'm just hanging out here in Massachusetts.
Is Boston Market still in business?
I have no idea. I'm Canadian.
Let's see.
I think Nick Harrison, our pal, was like, what's there to do in Boston? Where should I eat in Boston? And I almost sent him the Boston Market logo. We have a chain here called Boston Pizza, and it's not very good. But that would have gone over his head.
It looks like it's still in business. There's only 20 locations, though.
12?
20.
Oh, 20. Sorry, I was coughing when you said that.
Okay. Yeah, there's only 20 locations. But I know, like, they have, like, those locations, but then they sell their food at, like, grocery stores and everything.
See, this is the thing. This can go both ways. AJ flew to Australia just to screw LA Knight. He flew to Mexico just to beat up Dom. Maybe he needs to fly his ass to Massachusetts so that he could beat up Frankie Kazarian. Maybe Dominic Mysterio comes over to NXT or to TNA.
Who cares? Let's talk about Boston Market. There's a lot of lore here with the Boston Market. Things really took a downturn they have financial problems in 2023. That's why they're down to 20. On July 3rd, 2023, a complaint was filed stating the Boston Market in Danbury, Connecticut owed in excess of $61,000 in unpaid rent connected to charges. Ruling in the landlord's favor led to an eviction. And also in July 2023, U.S. Foods sued Boston Market for $11.3 million, accusing the company of owing them over $10 million for food distributed over several prior years. And the New Jersey Department of Labor issued a stop order at 27 of the 31 Boston Market stores in New Jersey. So they had 31 locations in just New Jersey in 2023. Now they're just down to 20, period.
Boston, New Jersey, my God.
Yeah, Boston Market is it doesn't seem like it's a place of ethical business here.
The old Boston Market at the corner of Mack Avenue and Norwood Drive in Grosse Pointe Woods has been sitting vacant for nearly 2 years. The only remnants of the once thriving fast casual chain restaurant. Fast casual. That's a way to explain it. Are the imprints of large block letters that hung on the facade of the building in the single unused rotisserie. And then someone decided to buy it, and it was a Michelin-starred restaurateur and a taco aficionado. And it's called Lola's Taco Bar. They are slated to open in September. So if you're in Boston, no, not Boston, Detroit, you can go to this place.
February 2024, shortly after its second bankruptcy was dismissed, Boston Market filed for bankruptcy for a third time after losing the U.S. Foods lawsuit. September 2024, the bankruptcy judge dismissed Boston Market's appeal regarding a $15 million judgment awarded to U.S. Foods. Yeah, Boston Market is it still exists, but not by much. And I don't know if it's worth going there to get the food, because it seems like they're struggling right now. There you go.
May 12th.
Boston Market lore.
May 12th, 2025, Buffalo, New York. The Boston Market restaurant chain is planning a national relaunch, starting at least partially with a store in Amherst that's been shuttered since 2022. The fast casual chicken restaurant held a soft opening on May 5th at one of their locations, the first of 10 expected to open across Western New York.
Fast casual.
Fast casual.
Boston Market doesn't feel like a fast casual
I've never been to a Boston Market
place. I don't know if people like. I guess they eat at Boston Market. I've always like anytime I've gone to a Boston Market, I just get my food and leave. I don't sit down and like eat there.
Boston Market looks to tackle summer sales. No, that's January 30th. Anyway, Boston Market. In which, here we go. Who was it? Mod Revolve saying Kenny Rogers Roaster was better. One of the articles that popped up, whatever happened to Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Boston Market is in its impact on pursuit phase. It's okay.
Oh, no.
Good shout, Ken.
They're going to get their Destination America contract soon enough when they partner up with Kenny Rogers Roasters.
I think Boston Market's just kind of fucked.
Poor Boston Market. Maybe Bound for Glory presented by Boston Market.
Oh, you think?
Be perfect.
Boston Market. Does Boston Market have a social page? Let's see.
It's going to be like the Radio Shack page.
Hello, Boston Market. Have you thought about sponsoring? They haven't tweeted anything since 2023. It's not.
Oh, they haven't even replied to anything?
Nah.
No
tweets since 2023. And as we just mentioned, 2023 is where shit went really downhill for them. So even their social page got fucked on that one.
That's hilarious. Their social team. You can't even go to bostonmarket.com. Wait, can you? The rotisserie rewards gives you a 404. Okay, but you can go to the actual website.
I love their second to last tweet. Their last tweet is, "We have an awesome deal today only. Buy one small rotisserie chicken nuggets combo, get one free." That seems like a good deal. Their second to last is, "Today we celebrate the birthday of Martin Luther King, his life, and the achievements of this influential American civil rights leader. In honor of MLK Day, please enjoy 25% off a family meal for 3. Why does it have to be 3? Like, it could be a family of 2. I don't.
They
feel
want
like
you to have a child, I guess.
All right, there's single moms out there. There's single dads out there.
That's fair. A family is otherwise it's just a couple.
You're not a couple with your child.
No. I'm saying they consider 2 to just be a couple, not a family.
That's lame.
A throuple should walk in and just be like, "We're a family like anyone else."
We are shaming single moms and dads with this tweet.
Well, clearly this is why Boston Market did not survive. We have discovered that this is the reason why. They didn't show any reference to the single moms and dads out there.
The replies to this are amazing because people are just
down
fucking mad. No, it's just people are mad. The replies, by the way, somebody replied so this tweet went up in January 2023. Someone replied in April 2024. So clearly they didn't even pay attention that Boston Market is basically out of business. And just saying, you don't show up on maps, you won't say where your locations are, have to wait 60 seconds to prove I'm human just to access your website, and then I can only get food through Uber Eats. Never mind, I'll take my business elsewhere. Close your doors for all I care. Well, Crimson-born villain, you're in luck because Boston Market has basically closed its doors.
Wow. The one above it, Matthew Whittington. Happy MLK Day, Boston Market. Let's have a feast for today when you're open.
I don't know if they're open. Man, the replies to like their latest tweet are just people who are, very mad about things.
Yeah,
poor Boston Market.
Healthier choices, like the chicken noodle soup, which I'm sure was loaded with sodium. The market bowl, which has mashed potatoes, chicken with gravy, that's the healthy, and corn. Corn, the only food that doesn't break down in your digestive system. The chicken Caesar with rotisserie chicken, which I'm sure has a fatty ranch sauce on top, or a Caesar dressing, I should say. Okay, this one's okay. The quarter white rotisserie chicken with sweet corn and fresh steamed broccoli. That's the only one. It's the only one.
People are, I don't know if it's a bit, but people are posting, these eviction notices,
I see
and
this now.
Thanksgiving is ruined. Who's going to Boston Market to
It's the same person every time, though.
get their Thanksgiving food?
It's the same person who just
No, it's not.
The ones that I'm seeing, it's the same person when you click the probable spam. And it's just the same closure. It's the same person.
Oh, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same closure. I'm pretty sure it's just like bot accounts and everything.
Hilarious.
It's amazing.
Healthier, LOL. You got rid of the Redskin dill potatoes, and now you replace the mashed potatoes with instant. Here in New Jersey, they taste so cheap, like a cheap buffet. Well, let me tell you something about Boston Market and its cheapness. Oh gosh, amazing. If In the Weeds were to franchise a fast food place, what would it be? And would there be a hot tub? Yes, there will be a hot tub, even though it's a huge food and beverage health violation. What would we franchise?
Cookout.
Cookout?
If I could bring Cookout to like Ohio and the West Coast and everything, you guys would forget all about your Whataburgers and your Culvers and all that other shit. Like, Cookout would be taken over just the entire world. Cookout is so good.
I might bring Harvey's across the border.
Harvey Dent's?
No, Harvey's.
Oh.
Yeah. Do you guys have? You don't have Harvey's there?
I don't think so. What's that supposed to be like?
It's a burger joint. It's also considered fast casual. Someone asked, what is a fast casual defined as? Fast casual restaurants concepts offer the convenience of fast food without this full service of fine dining. Fast casual dining consists of a more inviting sit-down ambiance and often the ability to build your own meal. The menu consists of better quality ingredients that can be found at most fast food establishments. Oh, okay. They're better quality than a fast food restaurant. Okay.
Allegedly.
Unless you're Boston Market, at which point you replace the real potatoes with mashed. Volub's like, it's sit-down fast food. It's not that deep. It's true. Yeah, that's really basically all it is. Yeah, Gray's gets
it. It's just nicer booths.
Yeah. Like, Harvey's is great Canadian fast food. It's a burger joint. They do some chicken. They're good. Them and Swiss Chalet. Good stuff.
All right. No, I didn't have Harvey's when I went to Canada, so I can't.
I could have taken you to Harvey's too, because there's one up the street from where I am.
You didn't. We went to A&W and they didn't have hot dogs.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
They still don't have the hot dogs. They discontinued them, thankfully.
What? That's
yeah. Lame. That A&W got a little bit better. It started working properly again. So I go there sometimes.
Oh, Ryan says ITW restaurant will probably be an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Oh,
place.
That's good shout.
Does Golden Corral still exist?
I see commercials for that sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. Or I don't know, maybe we do a Chinese buffet. Would you do that? Would you do one of those?
Oh, I love some Chinese food.
Me too.
Chinese food, like they work their own hours as well.
Yeah, 24/7 usually.
I mean, maybe, but we have one up the street, and like we go there, and it's just like randomly closed on just certain days. I was like, why is it closed today? Like they just like take off 4 or 5 day stretches for no real reason.
Well, there's always some reason. It's usually like a holiday, or family thing. Like,
yeah, but it's no reason to me. That it's not like they list like, hey, we're off. It just says closed. Rare Beast saying, I live in driving distance of a cookout. Simple. Well, come on, a Rare Beast. What's the go-to? Anything. Like, it truly depends on what you're in the mood for. You can get a good burger there. I like their corn dogs. They got walking tacos. You can get a shake. They got variety of shakes if you want. Like, you can put different candy or bananas, or I realize that's different sides of the coin there, but they got various like different shapes and everything. Like literally anything. Cheerwine float, that's a good shout by Sofakit. Literally anything at Cookout is good. It's all like, I'm sure the prices have gone up extraordinarily because that's everything nowadays, but it's all like relatively affordable. Get like a tray. You can get a burger tray. You get a burger, any kind of burger you want. The sides are outrageous. You can get like a corn dog as a side with onion rings, and then you get a shake with that. So burger, onion rings, corn dog. and a milkshake. It's like $8. At least it used to be. I'm sure it's like $20 now, but it used to be very affordable. But if you're not in the mood for that stuff, there's plenty of other stuff. Like, I can't give you a go-to because it's all very good.
I need to try this place now.
Whatever you're in the mood for. Whatever you're in the mood for, Rare Beast. Like, if you want a burger, get it. If you want a chicken sandwich, get it. I really like their walking tacos. Anything you want, they got there. It's all, as the name kind of implies, like cookout style food.
I enjoy it. I gotta go. I'm not coming to the States anytime soon, but
that's the only reason it's mean of me to say. The only reason like I want to go back to like Virginia and North Carolina and stuff, even though my mom lives there, that's I guess probably a better reason than going to Cookout. But
yeah.
I miss Cookout and I miss Bojangles. We got a Bojangles like 20 minutes away. I've went once, and they claim to be North Carolina, but it wasn't like Bojangles authentic. I don't even know if that Bojangles still exists. I do miss the Bojangles though. But yeah, Cookout, that's tough to beat. That's tough to beat a Rare Beast.
Volv saying next time we got to go to. He doesn't trust a Chinese buffet that doesn't take holidays. Again,
Old News says about $8 to $10 now. Ultimate Midnight. That's the thing. They're open like 24/7.
That's not bad.
No. It's a good deal. That's why I said if we could franchise something, we're going Cookout, baby. That thing would be a hit no matter where you take it.
Okay. Cyclops saying I've never seen anyone buy or eat AEW. I know it's a money laundering scheme, but I just can't prove it. I promise in Canada, it's actually a lot more popular. It's one of the better fast food places to eat. Same thing with Harvey's. Like I mentioned here, it's a Canadian chain. The burgers are just a little more substantial, and they're not so cheap feeling like a McDonald's or even a Burger King burger. They just feel a little better, and they taste a little better too. So I give my thumbs up to them. Lapglass adding, Joel wishes Paul Heyman was right. Going back to the TNA talk real quick. I didn't say it, but 2001 was a time.
That's nice.
Did he ever say anything, Tommy, on Busted Open? I know you said you were going to go back and listen to it.
Oh, I think that he said it just basically like I was trending, and so that was cool. I think that was like it.
No, Tommy comes from the school of any news is good news.
Yeah, it wasn't much. Zach, what's up? He says getting Bojangles in OKC. What's the go-to? Chicken sandwich, chicken biscuit. Technically, not the sandwich. You need to get the biscuit, but chicken biscuit, fries, sweet tea, because they actually have real, Southern sweet tea, not this bullshit lemon sweet tea people try to sell you and act like that's Southern sweet tea. You can get a bowberry biscuit, which is kind of like a blueberry muffin, but it's in like their biscuits. Their biscuits are very good. Their chicken is also very good. And you can just get like any type of chicken, but I just get the chicken biscuit because chicken biscuit sandwich, whatever you want to call it. That's always my go-to. And then fries, because their fries put the seasoning on them. Good stuff.
Was that a knock at Franz?
No, I'm not making Franz. I don't know what the hell Franz is.
The restaurant we went to when you asked if they had sweet tea in Toronto, and they were like, kind of, not
well,
really.
Yes, it's a knock at them. I didn't remember the name of the restaurant. It's a knock on any restaurant that claims to have sweet tea and it's just lemon tea, because lemon tea is not sweet tea. Don't bring that shit to my Southern house.
All right, that's fair. I just wanted to make sure.
I posted this, but with the festival the other month, and their food truck was all things Southern, no sweet tea. They had like the Nest tea little cans, and they're like, oh, this is the sweet tea we have. I'm like, that's not fucking Southern sweet tea. Don't give me this bullshit. I can go to the grocery store right next to you and get this little Nest tea thing if I wanted to. This is not all things Southern, and you're trying to sell me a Nest tea that I can get anywhere in the world, which also, by the way, is just lemon tea bullshit. It ain't real Southern sweet tea. If it ain't 80% pure sugar, it ain't real Southern sweet tea.
Let him have it. Not drag them, King. Another
rare biscuit. It's not sweet tea if you didn't super saturate that shit with sugar when it's boiling. Exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Y'all got to get y'all shit together with your real Southern sweet tea. Lemon tea ain't Southern tea. Get the hell out of here. My wife just mentioned you were so appalled. I was gonna boycott that damn thing. I was gonna I was gonna send out a notice of like y'all ain't real Southern sweet tea. Like get the hell out of here.
are you the
Yeah,
type? Sorry, are you the type of person who doesn't give a second chance to a restaurant if you have a bad experience? You like shut that shit down immediately?
I mean it depends. Like
Well, yeah, there's a difference between like finding a bottle cap in your meal and like just the food
yeah,
was cold. I get it.
yeah. I don't. The thing is I think for the most part, I have good experiences that are like I can find something to like at every restaurant. Yeah, if the food is just awful, and I'm like, I'm probably not coming back here again. Like if the food is bad and expensive, that's when I'm like, yeah, probably not doing that again. But that's about it. Like otherwise, the experience, if you have like super cold food or hair in my food or whatever, then I'm not. I will say so. There's like a Taco Bell up the street. There's two actually, which they're within like 5 minutes of each other. It's not like that bad of a drive or anything. But one of them is just terrible. Same thing with Dairy Queen. Actually, there's like a few just in easy locate like right next to each other, which is I feel like common everywhere. McDonald's, Burger King, all these fast food restaurants. There's like two within like 5 minutes of each other. And one of them is not good. And I will go the extra time to go to the good one because I don't want to go to the one that I know sucks and I know I'm not gonna have a good experience. Like I've given them multiple chances and the service is just slow. The food is fine because it's all the same food, but the service is just bad and the food can be hit and miss. It's not always the worst, but sometimes you don't get the best food. Where I'll go the extra couple of minutes to go to the one that I know I'll get good service and I know the food won't be hit and miss. So that's probably the closest to I won't go back to a place. There's got to be another place like that's just like close by.
Growing up, my mom was one of those like one bad experience. That's it. We don't do it anymore. I call it the Gau's effect because we used to go to this place. It was Gao. It was called Gao's Restaurant. It was a restaurant in Ottawa that was a Chinese food buffet, and it was delicious. And it was fairly close to our house, and we would go there fairly often. And then one time we go to Gao's, she had a bad experience, and it again. There's a difference between my food was cold and there's a bottle cap in my food. And she didn't have a bottle cap in her food. The food just wasn't good that night. And she decided, we're not going back to Gao's again. We never went back to Gao's. We never went back again, even though the food was perfectly good. It just, I guess her food was cold and it was a buffet. I was upset. It's Gao, G-O-W. Doesn't exist anymore. It's long gone. I assume that us not going back anymore put them out of business. But regardless, very upsetting that just one thing. And my mom was like, that's it. We're not doing this. You gotta give more. You gotta give more. People can have an off day. It's like in sports. Your team can lose because they had a bad day. You play poorly and you come back and you put on a better show the next time.
Yeah. You never been back there?
No, I mean it's closed now, so no. We didn't go back after this.
No. Did your mom get it closed? Did she file like a complaint?
No, she never. That's the thing. She will complain, but she's never like the complainer. I think there was one time. She doesn't watch the show, so it doesn't matter. But like my wife and I went to a restaurant with my mom and my dad, and we ordered a salad for like a starter salad for I think it was either the table to split or for my wife and I to split. And the salad came, and my mom was like, "Oh, there's like nothing in there." She sent the salad back because there wasn't enough salad in the bowl. Shit like that drives me absolutely bonkers because I'm like, don't you should know. It just instead of 4 people, just pick 2, get another salad, whatever. But yeah, my mom was like, no, put more salad in the bowl. I was like, Jesus Christ, Ma, come on.
Your mom's like Michael Scott.
My mother is not the consummate Jewish mother, but my mother is a Jewish mother.
Mom's like, if there's not enough salad in the bowl, I send it back. If there's not enough dressing, I send it
Send it
back.
back. And we never.
We need your mom restaurant reviews on here.
No, because my mom doesn't go. She goes to a lot of the same restaurants.
Okay, she can review those.
I could tell you what they are. There's like 3 of them. Shout out to the Summer Haze Grill. And La Pointe Fish Market. They're great. There's a couple of them. There's some good ones in Ottawa. If you go to Ottawa, there are plenty of great restaurants. And we'll never show her the movie Waiting, although it is a goated movie.
I haven't watched it in a while. I heard it doesn't age well.
It does not age well. Oh, it's the goat!
I still want to... I just probably just rewatch it just to see. I don't care if movies like don't age well. Like if they're still...
Yeah, they're still funny for their time. You just have to remember that you would never think this way currently.
Right.
It was not made at a time where we know better.
Yeah, like we watched the South Park movie the other week, and you can't do this shit. I mean, I guess South Park still kind of does, but some of the jokes they were making, it's like, yeah, you can do that a lot easier back then than you could nowadays.
Wildly offensive. But I mean, yeah, they still are wildly offensive, just different. It's a different kind of offensive. Anyway, you can no longer be bigger, longer, or uncut. All right. You want to go to Australia next year?
No, probably
AEW
not.
is teasing their return.
Oh,
last night, Tech Sport put out something big is happening in 2026 with Tony Storm as the front runner and the front page, and the same colors as the Australian Grand Slam. The thing with Tech Sport, so that's who they partnered with last year to do the shows in Melbourne. Tech Sport is also based out of Melbourne, and I'm hoping that they are going to diversify their return to Australia, because Melbourne is not a major city in Australia. So I'm hoping that AEW has a good partnership this time. I'm hoping that they do more than one show this time if they go back to Australia. Someone had mentioned do a mini tour, and I like the idea. You go to Sydney, Melbourne, Perth if you have the money and you have the ability. Do 3 shows there. If you're going to be there, you may as well stick around and do multiple shows in multiple places. But yeah, AEW looks like they're coming back to Australia next year.
I hope they figure out the streaming with everything, because remember last year it was a
big
fucking
mess.
Shit show with, oh, it's gonna be a Grand Slam show, and people thought, oh, it's gonna be like a really important event, and it seemed like it might be a pay-per-view, but then it wasn't a pay-per-view. Then it was just on TNT at like midnight because it was after All-Star Saturday. Yeah, it was a mess with everything. So I hope they at least get it figured out of, don't have it on a time where, I guess TNT doesn't have the All-Star game anymore, NBA, so they don't have to worry about going up against that. But yeah, hopefully they just figure out, hopefully we can watch it live on Max. That would be great.
I was about to
actually
say,
just watch it live by 2026.
I would assume it's early 26 again, because it's nicer in Australia. You'll want to actually be there, but who knows? It's going to be, when they're there in October. Is it nice? Yeah. The weather's okay in Australia around this time of year. They're still playing footy, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect other than a return to Australia and hopefully more than one show. But that seemed to be some fun news that came out last night. And our friends down below, down under, they're probably going to enjoy watching the AEW again. Hopefully the venue is full, and hopefully they're not just in Melbourne again. They need to go to the other cities and do it on HBO Max.
Yeah, we'll see what the Australia holds for them in 2026. But hey, good on them. I know Tony also mentioned maybe going back to the UK before All In next year, because obviously they're going back there for All In, and then they always run Dynamite the week of, from whatever. This year was Scotland. It's been they've run it in Scotland before, right?
No, they were in Wales last year.
Wales, that's what I was thinking of. So yeah, they've gone to Wales. We'll see if they go actually before All In week next year. Go in like I don't know, July or something.
I don't know where they could go outside of the places that they've been at this point when it comes to the UK touring. Maybe to Ireland, because they've done Scotland, they've done Wales.
Yeah.
That I'm thinking also because SmackDown tonight is in Dublin. So like I could see Ireland if WWE is filling up an arena. Could AEW do the same? Is it worthwhile for them? The other thing is AEW the next time they're back is for All In, right? For 2026. So I don't know if Tony really would want to go outside of the All In time, or if he, like he's talking about, going at a different time that's not around a pay-per-view. You got to bring everyone over. You got to bring the production. You got to, there are logistics involved. I feel like for Tony, at least, the way the business runs for him is you go somewhere when you're running somewhere as well. So if they're running Wembley for All In 26, then it makes sense to go and run another show somewhere in the UK that week or after that. Like, stick around for a few more dates to really, get more out of your European audience. Because again, going back to what we saw Wednesday in Glasgow, they had a really busy, raucous crowd that enjoyed the show. And it's nice to see that. It's one thing going from a full 1,100 seat theater to going to, 10,000 people in an arena setting, having a really good time watching wrestling. I'd rather watch that, quite honestly, than the theater stuff. The theater stuff works, but obviously a bigger crowd can make a show a lot bigger. So I hope that they take advantage if they're given the opportunity next year.
They draw well on these shows too. Like because they don't go so often.
Yeah, it's the one time a year, and they're not pricing themselves out of the market, right? Story from Observer today that Clash hasn't sold out. People are not willing to pay the ticket prices, so it seems.
Well, I mean, what are the ticket prices for Clash in Paris?
More than last year. And people paid last year because it was the first show in however long for a PLE or a major event in France.
Everything is more than last year. It doesn't matter what you just throw something out, it's more than last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. Clash in Paris. Oh, it's all in French. I can't read.
Well, good thing I can. So I'm going to go ticketmaster.fr and let's take a, no, don't show me the video. Show me the tickets. There we go. Choose your seats on the map. Right now, ringside seats, you're looking at 1,300 euro.
Okay, what's the cheapest? I don't care about ringside.
Category 3, 221 euro.
All right. I don't know if that's good or bad. What is that in American?
More, much more. Canadian 350. So about 300. 250. Okay. 260.
I mean, I guess I don't know if that's good.
That's cheapest. That's cheapest, by the way.
Cheapest, 250.
That's still a very expensive get-in price for many.
250 for a pay-per-view like that.
There was a time when it was 150. I think the WrestlePalooza tickets start at 148.
Sure. Well, this is now 250, and plenty have been sold though. So it's the cheapest for now, and the event is a week away. Yeah, WrestlePalooza, like, they probably did start at 150, but this obviously is not starting at 150.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. The way they have this thing set up is so weird. Looking at the floor seats, it's like they have the traditional floor seats, but then they have like pockets of like a cluster of corner floor seats. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing how this venue looks, because just from this overhead view alone at the Paris Arena, La Défense, it looks strange. It looks like a strange box arena, but it's like a D-shaped, hence Défense. But yeah, the tickets are expensive and people aren't necessarily wanting to pay. But again, with AEW, when you're getting prices much cheaper, you have the possibility of selling more and filling your venue and still making good money on it and breaking arena gates.
It's a D-shaped box.
It's my D-shaped box. It's my D-shaped box, girl.
Clash is in an indoor rugby stadium. Okay.
An indoor rugby stadium? First of all, indoor rugby should be against the rules. Second of all, I wouldn't pay that price. It's expensive. $250. That's a lot of money for a wrestling show to sit in the cheap seats.
I mean, I guess it is. I'm used to, I feel like everything nowadays is like $250 to go to some of this stuff.
Fair.
I remember how much I paid for Kendrick tickets. Obviously, I could go back and look, but I don't think I paid. I definitely didn't pay 250 like per ticket, because I don't think I would have been like, yeah, we ain't doing this. Sorry. I probably paid like $100 per ticket.
How much you pay for clips? Like $50?
Clips was, yeah, like, see, but that was, small venue though. That
Yeah, I
wasn't.
know, I get it. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is it does scale based on the star in the show and the
Yeah,
location.
yeah. Clips was like 70.
I couldn't tell you I'd pay for it. I couldn't tell you I would pay those prices to go in.
$70 to see Clips.
No.
Oh,
Sorry, going back to the wrestling prices. I can't
okay.
tell you I'd pay those prices. But again, you go to the things you want to go to, and you will pay based on how much you want to go. And right now, there are a lot of wrestling fans who will pay the prices to go to see their favorite shows, whatever that may be. I'm just not that person.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't think I'd pay 250 to go to a wrestling event, just random wrestling event. I don't remember what I paid for Revolution, but that was a special event because Sting's last match and everything. So, but yeah, I understand. I wouldn't pay 250 to go to an event. That was really, not for me. But they keep selling these tickets out, and I saw somebody like WrestleMania is gonna be the big kind of potential turning point.
Yes, and I think the front row tickets were 70,000, and you get a lot of hospitality out of that. For some people, that'll be enough.
That's absurd.
But 70,000 is like that is a very generous amount of money to be shelling out for a front row ticket to WrestleMania, and that's just one day. I don't think it's both days. I think that's
No,
140,000.
no way. It's got to be both days.
It's got to be a double day. I know it should be. It should be. I should be paying
70,000
35,000 each
for
day.
one day.
Could you imagine having that much money to spend? They just want you up on Klarna. They want you paying in installments for that shit.
Oh, I can't wait for 70,000. That's absurd. I can't wait for. Remember this year, here's pay 100,000 for lunch with John Cena. What's gonna be like the cool shit you can do this year? Cena's not gonna be there, and I guess they could still offer like some type of gimmick with him. Oh, you know what they're gonna do? I'm calling it now, folks. Calling it now. Undertaker photos, but the hat and the coat. He said he'd never wear it again. He'll wear it again for these photo ops, private photo ops with the Undertaker. You can't post these online. It's not some public meet and greet. Private photo op with the Undertaker. It's going to be $175,000. He will wear the hat and the coat, the famous hat and a coat where he announced that Scooby-Doo was all elite. He will wear the hat and the coat to do a private photo op in front of a coffin with the urn, whatever you want to do. Not whatever you want to do, but $175,000 for the Undertaker private photo op, hat and coat return. I'm calling it. Mark it down.
So Grace is asking, was that last year? The combo tickets aren't out yet. So at Ringside Beard on Twitter yesterday posted the chart as he received it from WWE. He allegedly had this. So the Elite Platinum, which is $70,000, it gives you both. So it is both nights, and it's more than this. So let's just go through this real quick. Row 1 seats 11 to 18. You get exclusive invitation only Elite event Behind the Magic at Allegiant Stadium on Thursday. At the Season Forum shop, you get Culture Kings limited release drop and shopping experience. You get the Superstar walkout experience at Allegiant Stadium. So you get to walk out on the stage and they announce your name and you're the big shit for 10 seconds. I saw that at Vegas last year or this year, and I was like, that's amazing. I can't believe people are paying for this, but okay. You get credentialed and lanyard at the convention center for Wednesday through the weekend. You get a WWE World VIP badge for 5 days. You get Superstore dedicated entrance and checkout lines. I saw that last year. For those who need it, it's great. You get a ticket to SmackDown in the first row. You get a ticket to Raw in the first show. You get Friday or Monday, you get a backstage tour at SmackDown or Raw. Admittedly, that's kind of cool. That's only the $70,000, by the way. The other ones don't get that. You plebs don't get to go backstage. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday at all the venues. You get private hospitality section, WrestleMania 42, SmackDown Raw with Undertaker. So there's your shout. Undertaker, Paul Heyman, and the Steiners are currently confirmed. And that's across all three.
What a cast of characters.
Yeah. Saturday or Sunday at Allegiant, in-ring photo, on-stage photo, post-show winner meet and greet on one day. So basically you don't need who needs a press conference. You can go and meet the winners and get a photo. Sure. Social predictions and tagging on Saturday. So basically they're gonna get a WWE camera in your face and just be like, John Cena versus The Miz. Who's gonna win this match? Who's gonna win? And for $1, what is the Undertaker do?
John Cena's not gonna be
you
on
know
the
what I mean?
show.
Shut up. I know. Oh, here you go. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready? Triple H 15-minute backstage group meeting where he gets to tell you how much he loves and appreciates.
What?
Swear to God, 15-minute Triple H backstage group meeting. He's gonna Paul Heyman you for 15 minutes. He is gonna tell you how amazing it is that you paid all this fucking money to go and see him. And then a meet and greet with TBD legend, and this guy speculates it might be Brock. Which honestly, if I paid $70,000, I'd take that money and walk out and just be like, "Fuck this." You get to walk out on one day. The announcer walk out onto the stage, right? They say like, "Oh, the on location." Da, 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 da. You get a Thursday. You get a replica belt. You get a one-of-a-kind custom gift. You get custom side plates on your replica belt. You get a WrestleMania 42 gift bag. You get a shopping bag. All venues, you get a dedicated entrance, dedicated private transportation, and dedicated concierge. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You get all the events and all the venues. You get all that shit. You get post WrestleMania chairs with shipping included, which they normally don't do. So that's cool. And a ring mat plaque. $70,000. So
I mean, you get a lot of shit.
You get a lot of shit.
$70,000.
You get a lot of shit. And listen, some of that stuff, I'm like, okay, that you can add it up to get to that point. The custom belt is kind of cool for those who are belt collectors, and you get like your custom side plates and stuff. The 15 minutes with Triple H backstage.
That kind of rules, honestly, that they're trying to sell this.
That shit's sending me. I love it. Oh, that's so stupid.
A 15-minute meeting with Triple H. What can you what do you do in those 15 minutes?
You sit there and you listen to him glaze himself.
Yeah, like what is he? He's like, oh,
you guys have questions about the show tonight? What do you want to see on the show tonight? Who do you want to see win the main event? You want to see Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns tonight? Okay, we'll make it happen just because you guys said so. Cody Rhodes is going to win. He's just going to give you he's going to wheel in the whiteboard with all the results and be like, no photos. And then he's going to leave. It'll be like when people talk about meeting Bill Murray and you'll never believe it. And Bill Murray's just like, no one will ever believe this happened. And that's it. And it's like Bill Murray walked in and like took a bite of your ice cream. No one will ever believe it. Triple H will be like, here are all the results. No betting apps. See ya, bye. And he leaves. That's it.
I don't think they're doing that.
Probably not. I like Louis' idea. You got 15 minutes to pitch Chase Unito.
Can I?
He wears a t-shirt.
Can I get just a 15-minute meeting? That's all I want. I don't want the rest of this shit, especially not for 70. How much would it cost me to just get the 15-minute meeting with Triple H? Because I got ideas, and I got more ideas, and I got questions that I would like to ask him and pitch him on.
Zeno Hour saying, ask Jimmy and Sean to buy this package. The problem is we'd have to bring back so much content. We'd have to make back all that money. We'd have to recoup the shit out of this.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure Jeremy
$70,000.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jeremy can do it by doing his job at home instead.
It's literally impossible to recoup $70,000 from this trip. I don't care how much content.
We'd have to sell everything. Like the custom belt, 15. Like it'd have to have Fightful side plates. We'd have to sell Fightful side plates for $10,000.
Yeah, we couldn't make that back anyway.
So Hunter, Trips, Paul, there's this group called House of Torture. Let me tell you about my friend Jack.
I hope his 15-minute thing, and Elliot Fletcher bring it looks like you might get a good answer, but then at 15:01 just disappears. I I always think of the Chappelle bit. It's one of my favorite bits from Chappelle's show, where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a new comedy special right here, but they say I only got 5 minutes," and he takes like 5 minutes to do his full ass walkout. He's dapping everybody up backstage, and he's taking his water and everything. Finally gets on stage, and he's like, "Y'all want to hear my opinion on the war? Y'all want to hear my opinion on Bush? Y'all want to hear my?" And then the buzzer goes off. I'm out of here. That's my time, y'all. It's one of my favorite bits that he does.
Oh, so good. I just don't even need. I don't even need this. I don't. $70,000. I can't. No mention of the NXT shows either, by the way.
Well, they're not going to mention it yet. I assume they may or may not get added.
They'll get added. $70,000. Do you like? Can you add on like a HBK 15 minutes? At least we'll get some actual answers to any questions you have.
What can you request it? Like you submit, you pay for it. I'm sure there's got to be like a comment box or
any accommodations we should know of.
Yeah, accommodations. Can you put in there? Yeah. Can I please get Triple H instead of Shawn, or can I please get Shawn Michaels instead of Triple H? If I can't get Shawn Michaels, I would like this to be voided and I will cancel it.
Give me back my $15,000.
Do you think they would like actually be like, "Oh shit, we might lose out on $70,000. All right, you know what? Yeah, you can get Triple H or you can get Shawn Michaels. That's fine."
Yeah, TNA is offering a meeting with Tommy Dreamer for $25. I thought you were dead. I was. Oh man, I met Trips for 15 minutes. All I got were no comment. Great question. No comment. Man. Did you read the lawsuit? Nope.
This wasn't a no comment yesterday. Tony had his media call yesterday. Straight down the middle, Tony Khan is just boring.
But it's good.
He's just boring. I'm so irritated. He gets asked, John Alba asked him, like, "Hey, what do you think of WWE counter programming?" And Tony's like, he didn't even mention WWE. He's like, "There's a lot of great wrestling shows going on. You know, I try to watch all the wrestling. We're just focused on AEW. AEW's having a great 2025. We're doing great pay-per-views, great television shows. Our ratings have been up for the first quarter from the third quarter last year, and we got a great pay-per-view this Sunday with Forbidden Door, and we're just focused on ourselves. And I think we're doing better this year because we're just focused on ourselves." And I'm like, man, come on, Tony. Come on. Fuck that bald bastard Triple H and his counter programming. They're going to put Brock Lesnar against us. Do you know how many times Brock Lesnar is named in this lawsuit? This is the company you're going to go out here and supporting? Watch All Out. We ain't doing shit like that. That's what we need.
That's my goal for All Out in Toronto, to not recreate Brawl Out, but recreate an angry Tony Khan moment. Like, I'm not going to ask him a baiting question. I wouldn't do that. I'm a little more professional than that, allegedly. Instead, I'll just try to get him to get fired up about something. Really excited. Like, it will be something completely like just out of nowhere. It'll be something totally innocuous. It'll be an AEW question. And then somehow we're going to find a way to get him to take a hard right into fuck WWE town.
There was the one media call where he unprompted talked about like the PR leaks and it's like WWE PR just needs to mind their own business. That ruled. That's the Tony Khan I need. I need the defiant Tony Khan. It's just way more fun. I respect that he's PR and just wants to not ruffle any feathers. And I do think for AEW's sake, it is better because they've done great shows this year and they're on a run of great shows. Yes. Like, I do think it is better for them. But for me personally, and that's all I care about, just book for me personally. Do things for me personally. I need the defiant Tony Khan. I'm not going to take this fucking shit anymore.
That's all I want.
That's the Tony Khan I want.
That's all I want. By the way, Ryan, I've been thinking about how I want to address myself or introduce myself at this press conference. I feel like I'll be Joel Pearl, Fightful, and
yeah, you're going to be cowardly and say Fightful.
I'll say Fightful and in the weeds and see if that gets any.
All All right.
Yeah, try and do that. I got to ask him about Time Cop. I'm just going to be the guy who asks him about Time Cop. He didn't bring it up. He didn't bring it up in Glasgow.
Yeah.
They don't get Time Cop in Glasgow, even though they were taping Collision. He didn't make a reference to Watching Yourselves. It's like my favorite movie, Time Cop. He gave it up. I'm very upset.
Ask him when he will get Vanilla Baby.
I know that's on your list. Listen, when Ring of Honor champion Blake Christian comes to the dais, I will ask.
I wonder if they're going to do a media call next week, since there's allegedly an ROH pay-per-view.
He'll be back.
Week.
He'll probably do something. It'll be hosted by Paul Walter Hauser, since he's now on the show.
That's my next week. If they do a media call, I need someone to ask. It's at least relevant for there. I understand. Oh, it's not relevant for Forbidden Door. It's relevant for the ROH show, because Blake Christian should have a match. He probably won't, because they don't book anything over there but cool graphic matches. Yeah, we need Tony Khan on the being asked about Vanilla Baby, and we need Tony Khan just being defiant towards WWE.
TK, legend, Graps God, sicko. Oh, I would love this. This is the reply I want. Oh, you're Jeremy's friend. I'd be like, you're pushing it a little far with the friend part, but let's try and get out of here in a tight 45. And here's my question. Good question.
He was asked yesterday. I forgot who did it. I don't mean to single you out about anything. Seems like a nice person. But just asking Tony about like a certain wrestler. This person just asked about Alex Windsor.
Oh yeah, the women's wrestling talk question. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, tell us about Alex Windsor. And I'm just like, oh man.
Get ready for the biography.
Get ready to learn Windsor, buddy. Like you're about to.
And again, not to knock the person who was asking the question. She kept pronouncing it Windsor, like Alex Windsor. And I'm like, did you write this question? Because I have questions about your pronunciation of Windsor.
People just ask like whatever they want, and people like praising the talent, and praising the talent goes over pretty well on like engagement accounts and stuff. Like it wasn't it was a fine question. It's just very funny when you ask those questions, like you just know the answer you're going to get. Like you just know. You can ask what you think is a good question. Yeah, like I thought John Alba asked a good question, and he still just got just focused on AEW. So asking about Alex Windsor is honestly fine, because he's gonna just say nice things about Alex Windsor, and that's good stuff.
Tony, Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds. I have a question about whether or not you could put $16,000 towards a world record attempt. Why didn't you? I actually got the answer to that, but I can't tell you. I can tell you off the record later. And by the way, would you open a Boston market with us?
We're bringing back Boston market.
Do you want to open up a Boston market with us? Would you like to go into business with us, Mr. Khan?
Ask him his favorite. You can't steal Malcolm's bit of Waffle House.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's his bit. I wouldn't do that.
You just ask him like his favorite, fast food place. Like where does Tony eat at 3 a.m. after he's done watching All Japan Pro Wrestling?
Tony, have you eaten a poutine yet? If not, would you like to go get one after this, and we can talk more about Boston markets? Can we talk more? Can we talk about mystery wrestling while we eat poutine? Can we do that, Tony?
I hope you get a question at this press conference. Don't make it suck either.
I mean, I tend to not ask bad questions, so I will do my best. What? You watched my interviews.
It's not like asking a bad question. It's asking, better questions.
Jesus Christ, I'm not that bad. It sound like I'm asking, what's up, legend? What's it like to be you?
Come on. Ask about,
I'll ask him about the Canadian Football League. You've got Fulham, you've got the Jaguars. Have you considered investing in, I don't know, the Atlantic Schooners of the CFL?
You should make up some shit. And King Potatoes, WWE has publicly said they'd fuck your mom.
Wait, I can't use that.
Yeah, you can't use that one. But you should like make up some shit of like Tony, Shawn Michaels did a recent interview where he said AEW is the minor leagues and we no longer wanted to run NXT against them because we just soundly defeated them. Look at the ratings every week on CW. Do you have a response to that? And like Shawn Michaels never said that shit, but just pretend like you did. Come up with an outlet. Say it was like Rock 105.3. He was promoting. This was before NXT Heatwave. He was promoting the show in Boston.
Tony, Joel Phil from Fightful and in the Weeds. We heard recently that WWE has plans to buy AC Delco Auto Parts. Will this get in the way of your father's business at all and your job with AEW? Can we get you on the record about that?
Tony, Nick Khan has said Trevor Lawrence is overrated and overpaid. Thoughts? Busted, yes, throw Busted Open under the bus. Shawn Michaels said this on Busted Open.
Oh, God. Never gotten a phone call from David LaGreca so fast enough.
Tony Triple H was on Busted Open and he said, we don't pay attention to AEW. We didn't even realize they were running a show tonight. We were focused on ourselves and we didn't know AEW was existed. He thought they bought that pissant company, years ago. He didn't realize that was TNA once he was told what they actually purchased. Thoughts on that? Nobody says off of that.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm curious as to who is going to be in the room at All Out because they're running Indianapolis and it's America. So it's probably going to be cheaper for most people to go if they so choose, but there's no press conference. That's the other side.
There's no press conference anymore. And it depends on if they do. But see, people will go to WWE over AEW to if they do the scrums. Stuff. No, if they do the media, yeah, the pre-show like scrums, the talent scrums, because AEW doesn't do those. So the press conference is like whatever. AEW streams the press conference. It's not like you're getting like super original content from the press conference. Whereas if they do the talent scrums, you're at least getting original content from them.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think it's more just, do you want to travel internationally or do you want to?
Yeah, that could be another part of it. But I feel like also people might have already had plans with stuff. So
that's possible. I know Ella is going to be here. Ella J. I know she's openly mentioned she's come to Toronto for the show. But yeah, there are probably some people who are on the fence or were on the fence about coming to Toronto, and maybe they were going to make their decision, but going to Indianapolis is closer or just easier for them to do. So I don't know how busy that media room is going to be in Toronto. I think it'll be, I'm not saying it's going to be empty. It's going to be like me and John Pollock sitting together in a room, which would be hilarious. But
you, Pollock, and Agantaro just chilling.
Steve's taking photos, so like he's not asking questions. Shout out to Steve. It'd be very funny. It's just us. We're like, oh, I guess we have all night. And like two other people will be there from Canadian media. Hey, from the Toronto Sun, when will you be coming back to Toronto and how great of an experience was it this week?
Tony, Triple H was on Busted Open and he called AEW the Toronto Maple Leafs of pro wrestling.
Jesus.
Do you care to comment on that?
No, I think he would take that as a compliment because the Leafs are seen as a good team amongst some people until the playoffs come around.
Yeah. Tony knows sports. He's not going to take that.
I wonder if he knows hockey at all. I don't think he's ever really talked about being a hockey fan.
I feel like he would know a little bit.
I would assume he's a Blackhawks fan. That's why him and Punk could have gotten back together. If they had just gone together to a Blackhawks game, everything would have been okay. They would have been just hunky dory. CM Punk would be AEW champion right now for his 5th straight year. That's where we'd be.
Tony, Cody Rhodes was on Busted Open and he said he left AEW because you would not fire Urban Meyer, and then a year later you fired Urban Meyer. Do you regret not firing Urban Meyer earlier and you could have kept Cody Rhodes?
Well, that's a great question. And tonight here at AEW All Out, we saw the return of Cope and Christian, 2 great champions. Chris Jericho's going to come back and Jericho's going to save All Out. I'm telling you, it's the Full Gear main event. I don't care what anyone's telling you at this point about Jericho going to WWE. He's gonna come and save AEW on his way out. it's happening.
We should ask about Chris Jericho if he's not there.
If he's not there, I will absolutely be asking about Chris Jericho. I'm sure others will as well, but that is on my it is on my preliminary list as of right now. Don't think I don't keep a preliminary list of questions, but Jericho will be one of the things I will ask about, and it'll be better than the last time someone asked about Chris Jericho.
That's asking about Chris Jericho is a waste of time. We love Chris in AEW. Chris is still under contract with AEW. Chris has been a big part of AEW. He's one of the founders of AEW. AEW might not exist without Chris Jericho. That's the answer.
Yeah, I'll get that answer, but then my follow up will be like, Tony.
You don't get a follow up. What are you talking about?
I will take the microphone. Tony, where the fuck is Chris Jericho?
Steal the microphone.
It's not that hard. There's only 3 of them in the room on either side. It's not like the WWE production where like, oh, there's a producer and there's everyone's like tightly put in there, and it's impossible. No, this room's a little looser, which I appreciate.
Well, there is no WWE room anymore.
That's true. They got rid of it because now we want to be in front of the people and answering questions from the people that were never answering questions about. Yeah. Anyway. Where to next? Forbidden Doors this weekend.
Oh yeah, we've accomplished nothing today.
Oh, I love Ken's response. Tony Khan becomes a movie villain and says, "You'll never find Chris Jericho, Joel." And then he smoke bombs and he's out of there.
That would be great.
And then Renee's just sitting in the chair being like, "Well, that's all the time we have for the AEW All Out Post Media Scrum. Join us on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite." Tony Schiavone runs into the room. We're out of time. Everyone get the fuck out. And that's it.
Start with Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds. I've been told to keep this press conference at 30 minutes or less, and then ask your question.
If he invokes your name, I will absolutely bring up. Like, you know what? I've been told to go as long as you want tonight. Jeremy would love this to continue. I will absolutely, if your name is somehow invoked, connected to mine, I will use that against you.
I don't want Tony knowing who I am. That sounds bad. I don't need Tony knowing who I am.
We'll make sure he knows.
I feel like he knows who I am, but doesn't fully know who I am, which is good.
Well, when I bring a full poster board of of you, then he'll know exactly who you are.
Jeremy Lambert, ratings draw for AEW. Still the highest rated show in America of the year. I only lost to Arena Mexico. It took a whole damn arena in a whole different country to outdraw me. Otherwise, Glasgow kicked their asses. That arena full of Scots didn't do shit against me. Bunch of Joe Hendry asses over there.
Jesus. I'm just gonna blow up this sign. And this is all, and I'm just gonna do this.
Do card Jeremy, like card blade.
Card Jeremy.
Yeah, do a big cardboard. I have a cardboard cutout of myself, actually.
Why do you have a cardboard cutout?
Hold on, let me see if I can find it. I'll tell you the story behind it if I can find it.
Sounds like an awful idea. If you have a cardboard cutout of yourself.
It's a good story. It's a good story. If I can find it, I gotta go to like my mom's Facebook. Maybe.
Oh, that's gonna take forever. I know how
it actually might be on my phone. It might be on my phone. Hold on. It's a while ago on my phone.
It seems awful.
Again, it's a good story. Once people hear the story, they'll be like, all right, you know what? This isn't the worst thing in the world that Jeremy has created with his cardboard cutouts.
God dang it.
Hold on.
By the way, shout out to our pal Doc Chris Mueller over at Bleacher Report. He did a conversation with Hangman Page, and he asked my question. My question to Hangman was, have you watched or read Seedbiscuit? And apparently he has done neither. So shout out to Hangman Page for answering that question, and for Doc to ask the question. Have you ever seen or watched or read the book or the movie Seedbiscuit?
All right, folks. I got the photos here.
I'm so scared.
Again, it's a very good story. I don't even know my wife has seen these, so I'm actually sending them to her so I can put them on my computer.
Why don't you just email them to yourself?
Because it all sucks, Joel. It's all stupid.
I'll usually just messenger them to myself, and then
it's all stupid. It's all stupid.
That's fair. My question to Tony Khan, Tony, Joel Pearl, Fightful, and In the Weeds. Why won't you respond to my podcast partners' tweets? Why won't you listen to Jeremy Lambert's tweets? I would like to read for you now a list of Jeremy Lambert's tweets in which your name has been invoked. I have 44 of them.
Oh, do I have 40? Oh, 44. Got it.
Yeah.
Good bit there, Joe. Good bit. All right. Let me get these photos. Sorry this is taking forever, everybody. But I don't know if we still have this. Probably not. I could maybe get it to you in time, though, Joel. Maybe get it to you in time. All right.
I had to bring this thing with me to a damn show.
Yes, you should.
Fine. All right.
Okay, folks. Tony doesn't always ignore my tweets. He responded to
that's right. The karaoke. Yeah,
karaoke.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing his favorite karaoke song for him at the press conference.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good bit there. All right.
I'd like to sing for you, Tony.
How do I load photos? Okay, here we go.
You go to media assets.
Yeah, allegedly.
And then more.
Allegedly.
And then hopefully you have enough space because
that's the thing. We're gonna have to like delete photos.
I keep deleting stuff here and there.
All right, folks. So here's the story behind this as they attempt to load, which will take another 5 years because why wouldn't they? I tweeted you, but you still ain't calling. This is the photo. That's real me. That's real me. That's not cardboard me.
So I know this. Okay, so now I remember this. Okay,
that's real me.
Okay, now I remember.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. So this is when I did not live with my parents, and it was Father's Day, and my dad missed me. So what did I do? I got him a cardboard cutout of myself. So I would always be around.
I do remember this now. It's so funny.
So that is cardboard cutout of me. Oh, the wife says, do we have that in our basement? I don't know. I don't know if we have that.
And that's the thing. And since you'd have to ask your mom if that came, if that's with her.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if we have that in our basement. We might have that in our basement. If we do, I'll send it to you, Joel. You take it to Toronto with you.
Should I take it to London or should I take it to All Out?
Take it to both. Just hold it up. Hold it up at the show.
I'm gonna have a smaller bag with I think for All Out, I usually just bring my small backpack. So, or not All Out for overnights. I just bring this one.
It's not true size. It is a little bit smaller than actually me.
Perfect. Which is perfect.
I have a photo of me next to the cutout somewhere. I don't know.
I'm going to tell people that you are actually the same height as the cutout.
Yeah, my mom
like 5 feet. You're like, that's about Jeremy size.
My mom might actually have the photo of the cardboard cutout next to it, so people can compare how much shorter that thing is compared to me. So. Yeah, just take the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, we are the kings of having the worst bits. We have a giant SRS head, Jeremy
this whole show.
Yeah, this whole show is just a giant puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, soon Kate and Alex are gonna have puppets. Yeah. What do we get? Nothing. Your money, super chats, maybe. Oh man. Anyway, Swerve is hurt. He's got a torn meniscus. Pfeffer Select reported that he does have a legitimate injury. On August 13th on Dynamite, Swerve Strickland noted that he was seen by AEW doctors for a knee injury, and apparently that is based on reality. Pfeffer Select confirmed that Swerve is actually working with a torn meniscus, and that's not anything new. He actually had a tear in his meniscus since 2019 and has been training at the Performance Center at the time, and he rested it for 4 weeks, and then he was back on television. AEW sources indicated that the Jacksonville Jaguars medical team is helping Swerve recover from the injury. It's a possibility that he could require surgery and time off. And we'd heard earlier this year that Swerve was actually going to take time off after All In, but that didn't end up happening. Swerve and Kazuchika Okada have a match for the unified title at Forbidden Door this weekend. And spoiler alert, Swerve does appear on Saturday.
Well, yeah, he's wrestling on Sunday.
Well, yeah, he does appear on Collision. So there you go.
Okay. Yeah, he's wrestling.
It's not like they're playing. It's not like they're playing a will he or won't he with his appearance.
Nah. Yeah, he's wrestling on Sunday, and
meanwhile we've also got Ospreay as well.
Yeah, Ospreay's been doing some media rounds, and he talked about his neck injury or herniated disc in his spine. and how he's probably going to need surgery, but it's not going to get worse. So Ospreay is just going to do a bunch of dumb shit on Sunday, I'm sure, because it's not going to get worse. Plus,
MRIs came back and told this is worse. This is worse than what we thought was going to be, but it's manageable. It's absolutely fine. The surgeon even told me this is not going to get any worse. It's going just needs to be corrected. So
what was that Ospreay accent?
I don't know. It's because I didn't use a bruv. I think that's what confused people.
Need to throw a bruv.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Listen, brains on the table. Ospreay's going to be fine. A lot of people are equating this to the Cody torn pec. It's just like, well, it can't get any worse, so you may as well wrestle through it. And look at how tough we are.
Ospreay's got to, visualize it up a little bit. That's what made Cody's torn pec. That's what took it to like another level. It's like Kurt Schilling's bloody sock. It's cool, but clearly it didn't affect him that much. But because it looked so gnarly, people like think of it as the greatest thing ever. Like, wow, I can't believe he went through that. That's what Ospreay's got to do with his neck. I don't know how you do that with like a neck though, outside of like a lot of tape. But that's not as impressive as a bloody tit essentially.
Maybe he should just cut open the back of his neck and put in a bunch of discs, and they can all bulge out the back of his neck.
Just bulging discs. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, they're not literally bulging discs in reality, but you gotta get the point across somehow.
Yeah.
He should get a cupping session and just all those cups in his back. You should just see nothing but those big cupping holes.
Can his head like pop off? Is that possible?
Listen, Katsuyori Shibata had his brains out on the table.
Yeah,
so
true.
Do that with Will. Why not?
They need to do in the match like a Mortal Kombat fatality. I forgot the character who does it. It's probably like Scorpion or somebody where they rip the spine out of him. That's what they should do to Ospreay. Jon Moxley should just rip his spine out, and then he just holds the remains of it. Sub-Zero, thank you, Ken. I know it was one of Scorpio or Sub-Zero. And then he just holds the remains, and then he just drops them down. That's how you write somebody off of television.
What if Ospreay's just not telling the truth? Like he's messed up. But they're all messed up. What if he's just saying it for the sake of saying it?
You think this is just a giant work?
Yeah, and I feel weird saying it's a giant work because like I believe he's beat up. I believe that he's got neck issues. I also believe that most wrestlers have neck issues. So I don't know. I think now is the perfect time for him to take time off if he so chooses. If he needs to get corrective, whether that's surgery or just time to heal and rehab, like after this match, yeah, he should be taking as much time as he needs because realistically, this is the season when most people say AEW is kind of at its low point, and that's sure, now's the time, take the time. But there's part of me that's like, maybe it's not as bad as he thinks. The dude came onto TV and was like, I'm pretty beat up after All In. I might not make it to Forbidden Door. And then LOL, guess what? I'm not cleared, but we're doing this lights out match that the build for this match has been very funny because it's like me and everyone else who's really hurt, we're all going to be in this match that doesn't count, but does count because we still have to wrestle it. Tanahashi and his knees, Gabe Kidd and his knee, Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi. Well, Ibushi's probably Ibushi and Darby Allin being like the healthiest people, who are injured in this match is pretty amazing.
I don't think this is some type of elaborate work.
Don't get me wrong. That's why I don't want to use work because I don't want people to think that I'm saying Ospreay's totally fine and he's going to show up and have like the match of his life and then work the next 3 months. I think it's more likely that surgery might not be as much of an option as he's leading on and that he's just playing up the fact that he is banged up. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, he's going to have to take time off, though.
That's fine.
After this match.
Which is totally fine with me.
Maybe he gets surgery, maybe he doesn't get surgery, but he's going to most likely have to take time off. And, he's talking about the surgery. So, no, I think him doing the match seems like he's going to be fine. He can at least get through it. But you can't go to this, well too often of, oh, I'm banged up. I need surgery, but I'm just going to keep wrestling through it. It's like, dude, just take the time off and get the surgery. I know it sucks, but you kind of They'll just keep wrestling through it because it loses the value after a while.
I agree, but I don't know I don't know how deep into that they've gotten with that, like deep into that sentiment they've gotten with this particular story in dealing with Will. But just the way that he's been talking about it and the way he's been open about it in the interviews that he's done. Shout out to Zach Haydorn. That's where I'm pulling most of that information from, the one Zach dropped from Takedown on SI, where like he said, I'm hurt and bruised. I might need surgery, but I can't get any worse. So I'm going into this match, going to wrestle my all, and then take some time off. I'm paraphrasing, but it felt to me just the way, maybe it was just the way the quotes were written or the way he spoke. That was like, it was the very Will Ospreay way of selling when he's trying to sell an angle, where he will come in, exaggerate what's going on with an injury, and then eventually just come back sooner than expected because it wasn't as bad as he says. And then makes him look like a superhero, which is the John Cena way too.
Ospreay looks like a superhero in his matches, so
there you go. Perfect.
Do the John Cena way on that. Whatever it is with Ospreay, whether he's saying he's more injured than he actually is, like I hope he's good, and I do hope he takes care of himself. Like I don't want him to go out there and continue to do a bunch of shit that maybe, it's not going to get worse. Okay, maybe, but it's also probably not going to get better when you keep doing this kind of stuff. Like I get it might not get worse. That was the Kevin Owens thing. It was, he didn't know about the injury, but the stuff at Rumble and everything, like apparently it kind of made it worse, but the injury happened before all of that. And then it got to the point where, it didn't really get better. Now he has to go away, and who knows when he'll be back after surgery. Maybe he doesn't need surgery, but if you need 3 months off to ensure that it gets a little bit better, just take the 3 months off instead of go out there. Because Ospreay can't wrestle slow. Like, he ain't just going to go out there and grab a headlock, bruv. Like, he's going to go be Will Ospreay, which means he's going to do some dumb shit. And he's just not going to make things better by continuing to do the dumb shit.
Well, it's like, remember when he was hurt in New Japan and he did the promo from his car where he was like, I'm really banged up, bro. I'm bigger than I used to be, so I'm not going to work as quickly as I used to. And I'm also going to take fewer neck bumps and all that stuff. And then he was just Will Ospreay. He was just Will Ospreay a little bit older.
Yeah, he definitely changed up his style. You go back and watch those Will Ospreay matches. He definitely changed up his style, but he didn't exactly slow down with his change up. He still worked at a high pace. He still took some crazy bumps. He still did a lot of high risk moves. He toned it down compared to what he was, and he did kind of incorporate more striking into things. But it didn't. It's not like he fully reinvented himself. It ain't like Austin was a guy that kind of reinvented himself. Go watch WCW Steve Austin and the way he worked, and then go watch Stone Cold Steve Austin after the neck injury and the way he worked. Different style.
Night and day. Very night and day. Because he knew he couldn't do what he was doing. He knew that it would be a big problem to do more neck bumps, do more back bumps. It was like when Brian came back and he said, I found a new way to bump. Because I was what did he say? He was studying circus performers from like the 1800s and how they would do tumbling acts. And he's like, I discovered, this was his kayfabe reason for being able to get back in the ring. He's like, I discovered ways to bump without actually landing on my neck. And one of the ways that he was talking about was, instead of doing his spot in the corner where he would run and do the kick and flip, but it was like a jumping drop kick where he'd land on his neck. Instead, he was starting to do a full rotation after he hit the move. So he would run to the corner, hit the opponent, and then just do a flip onto his feet instead of just do a back bump. And it's like he practiced tumbling, and that was his whole reason for changing up his style and being able to work again. So we'll see what happens with someone like Will Ospreay. If he takes time off, again, this is the right time to do it. I reiterate, wrestling should have an off season, and this should be it. After All In, just take some time, baby. Just relax. Once football starts, take a hike. Go get Jaguars season tickets and enjoy the box.
Oh my getting Jaguar season tickets. It seems like a waste of money, but
Well, you get them for free, and then you sell them off and make some money.
Okay.
Tanahashi with his old man knees.
Yeah, that one's rough.
And again, no Omega, no Ibushi on Wednesday. That was something I pointed out to you immediately.
Yeah, we mentioned it yesterday too. That's a little curious that they weren't there. I don't know if they had travel issues or what happened with that. You would think they would have been in the country and been on that show to help kind of sell things. Instead, they did stuff with Ops and Bullet Club War Dogs, who I assume that's going to be a pre-show match, but as of right now, it hasn't been announced.
Yeah, who were the members of War Dogs game? It was Drilla Maloney.
Yep. Clark Connors and Robbie X.
Oh, it was Robbie X. That was the third guy. I was just like, I know I've seen Robbie X on Ring of Honor. I just had not seen him on AEW programming yet.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, it was again going back to the show on Wednesday. I know you and SP3 talked about it. Again, this was one of those moments on the show where I was like, all right, this is kind of glaring to me, not having a big Kenny entrance or a big Ibushi appearance. I get with Kota Ibushi, it's like you want to save that moment. You don't necessarily want to have them just come out of nowhere. Kenny's part of the show. People know Kenny Omega. Like, people love Kenny. Having him do an appearance would have been nice. But yeah, I don't know what the situation was for them not being on the show. I'm sure we'll find out whether that's somebody asks. Maybe someone at the Forbidden Door scrum, if you're listening, maybe you ask, where were Kenny and Kota on Wednesday? Were they available? Were they not? Were they working somewhere else? Like, what happened? So I'm curious about that. Tag titles. Oh boy.
Oh, sure. Tag titles. I was reading this thing from Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I just saw she posted it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you before because you were surely overwhelmed with emotion. But I want to congratulate you and Jimmy on the future superstar that's on the way, heart emoji. Someday, I'll tell your baby how they helped you escape from me and prevented Stephanie Velcro from winning the title in Paris. Enjoy this new chapter. I know you're going to be a great mom, Chiquita. I'm already ready for Paris, and I'll be here waiting for you whenever you decide to come back.
Good tweet. Good stuff by Becker.
Stephanie Becker.
Good stuff by Becker.
Well, these people can't pronounce this woman's name. What's wrong with you? Velcro. Anyway, yeah.
Right, tag team titles.
Tag titles. I imagine doing an entire Knockouts Gauntlet match and having it end in DQ. Oh wait, now imagine doing that with a whole ass tag tournament and having it end in a time limit draw.
This is a draw, you know.
I know it's not a DQ. They're different but the same.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They are, because you've invested in one team. You wanted one person. You wanted one team to get the win. I do not like the idea of running into a time limit draw and then just saying Tony decided it's going to be a 3-team elimination match. It's now going to be a 3-way dance, or I guess it would be a 9-way dance because there's 3 teams. 3, 6, 9. Yeah, math. Yeah, math is math.
Can they find suck it to me one more time?
Anyway, I that's what I just don't like. I wish it had just been 2 teams in the match. That's it. I don't like investing so much time into a tournament only to have a time limit draw finish. You could have said 5 more minutes and do a sudden death. Like you could have done something to at least try to elongate the finish. But
if they would have gone 5 more minutes and it still would have been a time limit draw, you would have still.
Well, no, I would have assumed that in those 5 minutes you actually got a damn winner and made one team look stronger going into Forbidden Door. But I don't like the idea of investing so many weeks into which I get the hilariousness of this comment of investing all this time. Meanwhile, Tony on the first week only had FTR on the entire graphic of who's going to be in the damn tournament. So like that kind of just proves that there was no real plan going into it. And he found the team that caught fire and FTR. And FTR was always a part of it. So it was just, I didn't like it. It felt weird to me, and wonky, as you know, Howard said, is a word that I would use. I don't love it being a 3-way dance. It's not, and it's elimination, right? So yes. either way, Hurt Syndicate's going to get pinned or do the pinning of 2 teams. So either way, like people that think they shouldn't get pinned, or people who are used to the triple threat where someone doesn't get pinned and therefore you kind of get away from it, you negated that. So what's the point?
So I mentioned this yesterday. I think there's a world where Hurt Syndicate just gets DQ'd, and that's how they're out of this match.
That's even worse.
I mean, I agree, but I think there's a world where they get DQ'd, and that's how they get eliminated, and then they do FTR Brodito finish, whatever that might be. Don't put it past, is all I'm saying. Don't put it past.
I don't put it past. I go back to Wednesday before the match happened, where it just but it's not triple. By the way, Luis, it's not triple threat. It is a 3-way dance. It is elimination. So there needs to be 2 pinfalls in this match. So there can be a disqualification, at least hypothetically speaking. They make the rules. It's not one fall to a finish. On Wednesday we talked about this. There was no reason for FTR to be in the match when the assumed matches Cope and Christian and FTR in Toronto, which does not need to have tag titles attached to it. Especially after Cope and Christian came to the ring and basically said, "We are allies of convenience." Shout out Alexa Bliss Gamer. That's all they are right now. They are doing that same story, but they just have more history. Well, actually, you can argue a similar history, but this is why I'm like, you could have Brodito and Hurt Syndicate, and they want to drop it to Brodito, do that, have Hurt Syndicate move on. Shelton Benjamin maybe gets out. You want to talk about, Ospreay and Swerve being out. Bobby Lashley goes after the world title. There's your World's End match. Who knows? Just spitballing names and people who could do challenges. I just don't see a reason to why you needed to do a 3-way dance for the tag titles, and why Cope and Christian need to be eventually a part of what could be the World Tag Team title picture. Just so you get the moment. We're better than this. At least I thought we were better than this. Working towards moments.
I don't know if we are better than this.
That's
a big moment.
Is it?
Them reuniting or them winning the tag team titles in Toronto? Yeah.
I'm always of multiple mindsets. If WWE is currently running on not just the moments, but also working with the people that they've had for years, why wouldn't AEW try to at least be the ones that are pushing forward and finding those new, fresher talent, those younger talent to build up and make those moments with? And I understand that also that threatens the build out or just the ability for more people to see your product, because Cope and Christian, Toronto, people know, blah, blah, blah. They will get invested in that. I like the idea of new and fresh and opportunities for those people.
Okay, but WWE does it, and they do it all up and down the card, but specifically in the main event of things. AEW is doing this in their tag team division.
Could be the main event.
I don't think that's going to be the main event. But they're doing the tag team division. Like the last moment they made was the world title match at All In with, I assume you would consider Hangman a fresh person to make in that type of thing. Like, this ain't the nostalgia act of the Hardys holding the tag team titles for however long they've held them, and now let's do the Dudleys type of thing. Like, I think it's fine to have something like this as one match on the card, and you're building towards the moment of them winning the tag team titles. It's, again, one match on the card. The rest of the card's gonna have the top AEW talent that people enjoy and stuff. They don't do it that often. Truly, they don't with this kind of stuff. You look at the biggest AEW moments of the year. All In, Hangman relatively fresh. And the run-ins and everything that happened, they used AEW talent for all of that. Mariah and Tony, Revolution, I think that would be up there. Those are two AEW specific fresh talents, not some let's capitalize on a nostalgia act type of thing. And those are the top two moments that stand out in my. Okada and Kenny is maybe the one where you're like, oh, you're creating a moment with nostalgia. But at least Kenny, again, very established and first time in American soil. Everything. They ain't running back Brock and Cena a decade later. They ain't doing, Seth Rollins is on crutches, but he's got his Money in the Bank briefcase. Let's just create this moment. I think you're being harsh, and I'm somebody who will be harsh on Cope. I think you're being harsh on this particular moment. And
I don't think it needs to be a world tag title situation yet. They got a lot of story, they got a lot of runway, but if they want to get to all out with it, the story really has to be that they get back on the same page, and it's not just he's my asshole. He's my asshole.
I don't think. I think it's. I mean, the reunion was rushed. I think everyone knows. The explanation on Wednesday was like, okay, haha. Like, I don't disagree that you could have built this better and done this better, but they're at to the point where they're at. But I think most people do agree that this was a whole rushed thing, and maybe they don't need the titles here. Maybe they don't do the titles. Maybe we're all just talking ourselves into theories that don't actually exist, and maybe they're not going to win the titles. Maybe it's just them against FTR because that's the match, and you don't need to do a title run.
Are you suggesting that wrestling fans are getting pre-mad about something?
Yeah, I know.
That's not something we do.
Yeah.
We never get angry. We are very level-headed human beings who care greatly about it. Don't rewind to the beginning of the show. We're perfectly normal. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The match doesn't need the title. That's right. We'll find out soon enough. We'll see who wins the tag titles on Sunday. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't know if you. I know you guys talked about MJF because that was the cover story for yesterday. Yeah. I didn't listen. I didn't watch other than the 3 minutes I checked in. I'm just curious. What was your? Because there's been a lot of talk about MJF threatening to burn a man alive, and Hangman being like, "Okay, don't do it. You get your way."
I think Hangman was a coward. I think he should have stood in the ring and been like, "Do it, you pussy. Burn him."
After he confronted him last week and went nose to nose, I hear you. Hangman was a tough guy last week. I don't disagree with you.
We talked about it yesterday of what actions has MJF done that are like super despicable. He's done a lot of like heel stuff that makes him a bad guy and everything, but he ain't threatened children. He ain't burned a man's house down. He hasn't done any of that. So, he makes these threats, but the worst he's done is, oh, I turned on my best friend. Oh, I pushed a guy off of a cage. All right, this is kind of low-level stuff that a lot of people do in the grand scheme of things. The Undertaker threw somebody off of a cage. You ain't that special by doing this. This ain't a level of what we've seen from other people. So would he have burned him alive? Hangman should have found out. Like, I think you're all talk. You talk a big game. You like to go for the lowest hanging fruit. And you like to say, you like to come at people's families, come at people's personal lives, come at people's history. What have you actually done? You were such a pussy that when you got into a car wreck, you put her in the seat. That was the most disgusting thing he's done.
Right.
But there's no proof of that. Could have just been a lying. Could have been lying about all that.
He's all talk. He's all talk.
So Hangman should have just called him a pussy. Been like, burn him. Mark Briscoe don't give a fuck. Do you know how many times Mark Briscoe's been burned? A daily occurrence for Mark Briscoe.
That's true.
All the time.
Those chickens, they have really wide fingers. They know how to operate a lighter.
Shooting fireworks with his brother.
That's
everything.
Right.
You know they got burned and shit.
Yeah, you think those are his real hands? The one thing that really frustrates me when you go to threatening to burn someone is just like what you kind of made allusions to it, just like Swerve breaking into the house, just like Hangman burning down Swerve's house. Nothing of consequence came from those actions from the wrestling standpoint. Tony never did anything to discipline these guys other than, hey, what did he say? Like, I paid the fines, or I asked local law enforcement not to do anything. That was basically as far as he went. I really, really, really could do without wrestlers bending the narrative to do something that is illegal in the form of getting a pro wrestling match. The part that is the worst part of what you do to someone should be what you do in the wrestling world or in the wrestling match. You kind of have to keep things so confined, not to what the wrestling world is, but to what the real world can accommodate. If someone in an arena is being told, or if you're in an arena with full of people and someone in the back is being like, I am going to light this guy on fire, hundreds of people should be being like, we got to get out of here. He's going to burn the place down and we're going to call the cops. I'm talking like in reality here. We all know it's a show, but again, the reality is he's going to burn someone and possibly kill them. So you got to call 911 and everyone's going to have to leave the building, blah, 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 blah. That comes with cops. That comes with law. That comes with, there is follow-up to a real situation like this. In wrestling, though, it's like this doesn't exist and Tony doesn't do anything about it except for the one time where he explained it away. I don't like seeing that over and over again in wrestling. And, people have mentioned Randy burned down the House of Horrors. Not much better. Same situation. Barbecue chicken. Sorry, that got me. But I don't know why we have to get to, I'm going to kill this man if I don't get my way. We don't need this. It doesn't make it better.
Well, I think murder makes it all better. So
well, that's just you, but don't tell that to Charles Mason.
Here's why it worked for Hangman, Swerve, even Orton. It wasn't on the show. It was on the show, but it wasn't in the arena setting. So I agree with you and there's no real world consequences for a lot of this stuff. At least when they did it, there was no one there to prevent Hangman from doing it. There was no one there to prevent Swerve from breaking into the house. There was no one there to prevent Orton from, burning the house down. MJF trying to do this in the arena, this is where I agree of like, why aren't there other people like rushing to help Mark Briscoe? Why isn't Tony Khan being like, hey, maybe we don't burn this dude alive on this television show that everyone knows I run? So my explanation for why it kind of works for Hangman and them is that happened outside the confines of the arena and they are acting on their own. Should there have been real world consequences? Sure. But we all know it's a television show. And if their real world consequences were, hey, let's beat the shit out of each other in a wrestling match, then so be it. So I'm forgiveful of all that. And I can explain that since it didn't take place in the confines of the arena, it goes down the way it goes down. Where the MJF thing, it's a little bit tougher to kind of suspend disbelief and be like, yeah, he's just going to burn him unless Hangman gives him the match. But doesn't Mark Briscoe have other friends? Where was Jet Speed? Where were cops on all of this? Aren't there cops in the arena? Isn't there medical in the arena? Security? Like, where were they here for this? Where, obviously, when they're at different homes and stuff outside of the arena, they're not there.
There's a camera guy, though.
That's where you're supposed to suspend.
I know, suspend disbelief. Yeah. And again, I'm a guy who listens, who follows TNA. Where again, when they kill you in TNA, you're gone. That's it, unless you're Eric Young and you're actually a ghost. So like for me, I've had to suspend my disbelief multiple times at TNA while still being like, listen, at least they keep to the expectation that unless you get pushed in front of a train or shanked in a prison, in an old prison, you are gone when you're gone. You go to the undead realm, you ain't coming back. That's it. That stuff is one thing, but doing what they did on Wednesday was just kind of like, and you set a precedent. That's the problem, is that if you're okay with it this time, what's going to stop them from trying it and go even further next time? It doesn't work in the long run. Cyclops Better Than Wolverine sent a super chat saying Jungle Boy got suspended for losing a fight backstage in canon while felonies on camera get unpunished. Maybe he was a scapegoat. It's a good point.
He's a doctor now. Get ready, folks.
He's going to be Destro. He's going to be Jungle Destro. And Killswitchosaurus is going to be PCOsaurus. Oh, SP3 is right, by the way. They did establish and not hold the camera for Swerve in the house. That was good. For Hangman, though, it wasn't. He said there was a cameraman. They just set up a static shot. Weren't there multiple shots in that setup?
He walked through the house, I thought.
Nana
Maybe
and
he was holding the camera. Maybe
Yeah,
Hangman
yeah.
was holding the camera.
The idea was that Swerve, the Swerve and him breaking into Hangman's house, that was Nana behind the camera. You're right. That was good. But the Hangman in the house,
I think
burning the house down. I can't remember if he was behind the camera or if he just set up a static shot. I had to go back with that. The GoPro thing.
Well, regardless, you've continued to make my point here that they got around it because it was outside of the arena stuff.
They took it out of the narrative structure, but it doesn't mean that it's the way you can continue to tell a story in wrestling. It shouldn't, because again, they don't face any real world consequences because it's still aired nationally on television, and Tony Khan employs these people, so there should be real world consequences for the things that they have done that break the law. And again, I understand Tony said it, offhandedly, oh, I told them don't go after Hangman and all that, but like that shouldn't be the answer. It shouldn't just be off. Don't worry about it. It's cool. I gave them a sack of money and told them to go away. That's just me. I just, it's because I don't want to see it repeated over and over and over and over again.
You really hate pro wrestling if you can't suspend your disbelief on some of this stuff.
I just wanted to make sense from certain angles. And I believe that there is again, you go and you watch real, not necessarily prestige television, but at least television that has thought out Bibles of why things are happening and what should or shouldn't happen in the confines of reality. There is a reason for these things to occur. And I get it. Maybe I'm just holding wrestling to a higher standard than it's deserved to be.
Yeah.
And I get that. That's fine. That's a totally understandable feeling. But why can't I? Why can't wrestling be smarter? Why can't fans get a little bit smarter? Isn't that what we're trying to do with our platform? We're trying to give smarter platform. We're trying to be a smarter presentation of wrestling. And that's when we call out when things aren't smart. Yes. Well, and just Fightful in general. We do try to bring a smart. Listen, we are stupid, but we're also intelligent to tell you about storytelling and history and these things. Like we know, and we should be able to tell, to explain or comment as to why it could be better.
So what do you want to do? Get the cops involved and then they spend 6 months in jail? And
no,
then...
I just don't want them to do the angle, because then you don't have to invoke the cops.
Don't do the house burning angle?
Sure, don't do the house burning angle. Sure, find a different way to do it. Don't break into the house. Don't do the house burning angle. Like, I get it. People were really big fans of that. I understand that there was a level of drama that was there. But unfortunately, in the wrestling world, there's still that modicum of reality that comes with it. Whereas if this was, quote, prestige television, this would have either been the end of a season, this would have been a season finale, or it would have been like the next episode, someone got thrown in jail for their actions. Like the next shot is that person in jail for their actions, and now you have to do something.
What if Swerve didn't press charges? Then
he still burned someone's property to the ground.
So if there's no charges pressed,
you still caused arson. That is still something that you will get taken in for.
It was out in the field. Nobody else got hurt.
There was a house there.
It's fine. Yeah, but if you didn't press charges, it's fine.
Here's another one. TK got the Meltzer driver from the Bucks and Jack Perry, and they still got their jobs. TK is just not a good boss. That's really what it comes down to.
That angle just sucked.
It did suck. Like someone in the chat being like, I'd just watch something else if I was this upset. And the thing is, like, I'm not upset as much as I am just calling out what I see and experience. Like, I thought in the moment, I was like, cool, this is a good way to get out of using the contract. It's a clever way to do it. He got outsmarted last week, so he became a bigger piece of shit this week, and he got away with it. That's fine. But what I don't like is when you have to threaten harm of a person in a way that would be illegal and also create a huge problem for those who are actually in the venue to have to deal with. That's when I'm like, you don't have to do it this way.
This is why Hangman should have called his bluff. Just been like,
oh, that's fine.
Do it. I didn't like this angle. I think this would have been a cheap way around it, but we talked about the contract execution this week plenty. I think this would have been a cheap way around the contract execution, but they could have legitimately just MJF being like, you idiots, I have to sign the contract. Just because I say I will do it. Doesn't mean anything. I say shit all the time. I'm a scumbag. I lied. I got the title match. The match is official. You think Tony Khan's going to go back on his word? You think Hangman Page is going to be like, oh, never mind. I'm not giving you the title shot now. Is that the kind of coward Hangman Page is? Coward shit? I'm not executing my contract. I'm still getting my title match. It could have done something very simple as that would have fit with the MJF character, that wouldn't have been so convoluted. And yeah, people would have been mad, but people were mad about this burning stuff for the same reasons I just mentioned they would have been mad, and then even more reasons of what you were talking about.
Mod Revolve adding in Mark Briscoe said he was going to kill MJF. That's another thing that we talked about. I don't like when you add "I'm going to kill you" as one of the things that you're trying to do to somebody, because again, you're not going to kill them. You are not going to physically off them. You are not going to do that. Stop saying it in wrestling. It's not a good look, and it's not something that you can actually follow through on. That's the other thing. If you want to make wrestling real, or at least feel real, you have to be able to do things that you can actually follow through on when you're threatening them. So threatening to kill you isn't going to work. Threatening to break your leg is something that you can do, whether in kayfabe or not. Threatening to break your neck is something you can do in the ring. That is something you can believe. Take time off, go out. Again, we might see this on Sunday where Ospreay wrestles so hard, and by the end of it, he gets his neck stomped by the chair spot that they've been doing. And then Ospreay's out for a few months because he has other things.
He already got that to happen to him, and he's back a month later.
Well, this time we can do it again. But regardless, it has to be something that you can do that you can get away with in the confines of the ring. And that's why you can't do the "I'm going to kill you" bit unless you're TNA and you actually do it and they go to the dead realm. This is kind of my ongoing issue with wrestling and wanting to make it better, is you can't just say things if you're trying to present this as like a legitimate sport, but we all know what it is. You got to do a little bit more. Yes, I remember the murder of Eric Young. He's back to life. He's a ghost. We've had this confirmed to us on multiple interviews with TNA. He is a ghost. Bill Cosby-ass ghost.
There should be more murder in... Let's not get ourselves in trouble with the Cosby comments.
Well, someone else did for us. It's fine.
There should be more murder in wrestling. I've long advocated for this. So when if I have Mark Briscoe say, "I'm going to kill you," MJF's dead, man. We're killing MJF. I ain't saying "I'm going to kill you" and not following through on that. We're going to follow through on some murder. Give me the pencil. Let me book TNA. Do you know how many murders there would be? At least one a week.
It's fine. Start pruning the roster.
I need to get some good people on the roster.
Yeah, there are a few of them. Do you mean good
people
or good wrestlers? What are you talking about?
I'd have Steve Macklin just straight up kill so many people. Tag them and bag them.
That's right. Mayhem for all.
Yeah. I'd be all about that. And Macklin he'd put people in the body bags, and they'd be in the body bags. They wouldn't be escaping to do balcony drops afterwards. They'd be there and they wouldn't be getting up.
Macklin and Darby should be in a tag team together. One has the body bags and the other one fills the body bags. That's your tag team right there. They should be the champions. Anyway,
Macklin be a killer in my company.
That's right. Give him the pencil. Let's go. I do like, by the way, at the beginning of Dynamite, Hangman coming off the train just like everyone else.
Oh, just a normal guy, Hangman Page.
Just totally normal guy, Hangman Page. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I'm like, is this because everything is always like, is this a shot at Punk because of the Punk London travel story where he had to take the tube to All In? I'm like, is this a shot?
I didn't even connect it. I was just like, oh, okay. But then I, of course, saw it online. I'm like, is it taking a shot at Punk? I was like, I mean, maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but they've certainly now opened themselves up to having people believe it was, which doesn't help.
It'd be funnier if Hangman walked in and at the beginning of his promo just be like, "You saw what happened out there? They forgot to pick me up this afternoon." That's when you know it's a shot. But instead it was cute. It was fun. Yeah, him coming off of the train with everyone else. I was like, that's unexpected. And then you've got what's his face? You got Moxley just walking in from wherever he was. That's fine. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add from this. It's going to be a fun event. I'm sure Forbidden Door is going to be a good time. I'm sure it's going to be full of a lot of nonsense and tomfoolery, but we'll talk about it on Monday.
Someone should catch somebody on fire.
Well, Jack Perry's coming back, so maybe you'll get your wish.
We're ejaculating hopefully on Monday, folks.
Baby, we are going to bring our whitest clothes for this. Joel Pearl, Tony Khan, Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds. Hangman coming off the train in Glasgow. Was that a shot at CM Punk? Do you remember CM Punk, the guy that you used to have in your employ until he scared you? Do you remember him? What's he up to these days? World champion? Anyway. Anything else I got to plug before we get on out of here? There's lots going on this weekend.
Yeah.
Let's do a SmackDown preview real quick.
No.
SmackDown's on in a couple hours.
So? I mean, I'm going to watch it in a couple hours, but so?
Hell yeah. I don't know. All right, fine. We won't do a SmackDown preview like we normally do every single week at the end of the
show. If you want to run down SmackDown, fine. Run it down.
I just don't have the rundown in front of me. I did, and then I changed my I changed my stuff. I was doing other things.
Nah.
John Cena is going to appear in Dublin, and then he's going to tell you how many. Oh, he's not going to tell you how many more appearances he has because that was a heel John Cena thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm doing the countdown myself, so I'll tell you. It's 10.
My
10
God.
After this one.
We're going to be in single digits next week. It's going to happen, baby.
Yeah, we went through this, SB3 and I, of technically all of his last dates are announced. It just depends on how they categorize Australia. Because if he appears on Raw and SmackDown, which are both Australia shows, then that's all of the dates. If they categorize that as one kind of appearance because it's just Australia, if they categorize Raw, Crown Jewel, SmackDown as just one appearance, then he has 2 dates left. Or if he only appears on Raw or SmackDown and they only count one, then he has 1 date left to announce. But if you count the actual appearances, everything's been announced. I imagine that they will categorize Australia as one thing because there's no way he's not showing up to TV before his last match or before Survivor Series.
I would assume his he would do SmackDown and the Crown Jewel show, but probably not Monday Night Raw.
Okay, well then that would only leave 1 more appearance if they count those as 2 separate appearances.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That would only leave 1 more appearance that's not confirmed.
Yeah, so that's not confirmed.
Yeah. All his other appearances are confirmed. Right now he has 10 dates left after today. He has 11 dates left total. They have confirmed 9 dates, but they've not confirmed like Raw and SmackDown in Australia. Everyone suspects he'll be on at least one of those shows because he's there for Crown Jewel and he is confirmed for Crown Jewel. So it just depends on how they're going to count Australia. Do they count that as 1 date? Do they count it as multiple? Do they just go back and, he's a baby face now? And it's like, we added more dates to the John Cena.
I honestly just think that's what it's
more John Cena dates.
Honestly, what I think it's going to be. It's John Cena just going to be like, I love you guys so much. I got more in me for the rest of the year. And then that's it. And then he just has more. And that's it.
Yeah, nobody's going to be mad about more John Cena dates. So
no, probably not.
But in the countdown, they've announced everything.
At the same time, if they do the indie show and Brock Lesnar, they do a stretcher job with John and Brock, and then John's out until Crown Jewel. That's effective. Well, it's only 2 weeks.
But the Crown Jewel thing's not really the issue here. After Crown Jewel,
I understand that. I'm saying that's why I'm saying Crown Jewel does become an issue because you can't not have him on the show. So I was saying if Brock were to do a stretcher job with John, you could have kept him out until like War Games in November and kept the dates. But that's not happening because he's going to Australia. So the idea doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it'll just be as easy as like, I love you guys so much. You deserve more of me. So you get babyface John Cena for extra appearances. Have at it. Oh, by the way, I have to go do this movie at one point. Motor City Machine Guns take on Mellow Miz. Aleister Black takes on R-Truth. Tell me if you've heard that roll up before. Street Profits take on MFTs, and Charlotte Flair takes on Piper Niven. That should be an episode of SmackDown. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, you already told me what the Heatwave card is, so that's good. And Forbidden Door, lots of people are talking about it. You know what the card is. You've seen it. Go to Wikipedia if you want to see more of it. More matches will be announced, I'm sure, between now and Saturday or Sunday morning. So go enjoy it, or don't. Take your weekend, do whatever you want with it. We're back on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern, to run down a bunch of these shows. I'm sure of that. Jeremy, anything else to plug before we get out of here?
No.
Good. Leave a thumbs up on the way out. Leave a comment. Talk about how pretty we are. For that guy, for me, you know who we are. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one.